It's not started. Oh, there. Okay, there it is. Listen, guys, listen. Guess what this is? Can anyone guess?
White Claw.
Yes.
What flavor?
Old man flavor.
I don't know any of the flavors.
It smells like one of those green caramel apple.
Oh, okay.
That sounds weird.
The Nerd Chat, an Xbox podcast.
Is a podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days.
Hosted by a group of best friends. If you'd like to find out more, visit nerdchatmedia.com.
This is Cortana. And remember, don't make a girl a promise if you know you can't keep it. As always, Spartans, see you online.
It is I, William Salyers, sometimes known as Morden Solus. I'm given to understand Nerd Chat is celebrating 200th episode this Thursday. Congratulations. That is most impressive. And of course, had to be Daddy D. Wally. Someone else might have gotten it wrong. See you online.
Oh, God damn you guys! God damn you!
That was so good.
Oh, man. Making me cry on 200 episodes.
so
God
good.
dang it!
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And there's a horse.
Eric's got to ruin my moment with Morden. Morden.
It's a pony. Good.
You got me, Jose. You got me, son.
Actually,
of a bitch.
that was Bubble Boy. It was a group effort.
Bubble Boy, you got me too.
It was
Sons of
group
bitches.
effort. A little
It was
surprise
group.
for 200
It was a
episodes.
group effort.
Well,
I was very. I was like, this just it made too much sense not to do. So.
oh man, I don't even know what to say. Daddy Diwali here. Look at us. Who would have thought? Not me.
Not me.
Not me.
I did.
200 episodes down. Shout out to Morden. Get me all teary-eyed there. Jose, joining me as always. Chipotle Bear, how are you?
I'm doing great, man. Happy Thursday, everyone. It's been a frantic week getting ready for this 200th episode because we run it basically like every episode, which means we waited till today to start planning. But shout out, of course, to Bubble Boy. He had a fantastic idea for those that are just joining us to call out to Cameo and get one of our favorite characters of all time from one of the greatest games of all time to help us introduce this 200th episode. And we didn't tell our fearless leader because he does a lot for us. He obviously started this for us. And so just a small token to say thank you. And don't worry, I got the sound bites for you too, Dan.
Dude, that's
Yeah.
incredible. I don't even know what to say. I didn't know Morden was on there. That's awesome. Joining us always, made it to 200, X Bacon Gaming. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing well, gentlemen. I want to thank our special guests, friends of the show who showed up tonight. And I want to thank you guys for letting me in so many years ago and letting me become a part of the team. So let's do it. 200 more.
And happy bicentennial nerds. Bubble Boy and Seven. Matching.
Yep. I'll just do this all night if that helps. No, I really I don't want to get too sentimental, but I will say, like, for as much as we all bring our strong suits, I probably have the least amount to offer to the table. It is extremely impressive that Daniel has not missed a single week in 200 weeks, and so that was hopefully Morden honored that to the fullest. So thanks, my friend.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting me
Appreciate
tag along.
And we've got special guests. We've got returning. He might have the most appearances on the show. Please welcome M. Ken 10, Mr. Matt Kennedy, back to the show. How are you?
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me. I don't think I have the most, but it is
pretty
it is
You were on
good
there
to
quite
be,
a bit.
It's good to be here.
Eric
It
said
is
he was
really
going to
good
fight
to be
you, though,
here.
so better watch out.
Speaking of Eric, we're going to number one, senior intern, not Eric. We're going to go over to Todd Oxtra, SFU, Secret Friends Unite, CEO. He is senior intern. Eric was senior intern, but he's been becoming too much of a pony, so I had to demote him to a junior intern. Please welcome Todd Oxtra to the show.
Roasted.
Wow,
That's impressive. Sorry, Eric. At this point, I guess I'm your senior, so I mean, I can boss you around.
Yes,
This is great.
you are Eric's new boss, correct. And speaking of Lotus man on the totem pole here, Eric from Game Positive YT, he used to be Xbox fan #1. He has turned full Sony pony fanboy of all things. Please welcome our Canadian brother Eric to the show.
Well, I had a speech here that I wrote up, but I'm not gonna say
Is
it
that a
anymore.
receipt?
I think it was a receipt.
No.
It looks like
That was a long speech, not a receipt. There's no way that
That was not a
I
cocktail.
play more PlayStation more Playstation than Todd. Todd plays more PlayStation than
I don't
me.
know. I feel
Or
like
apparently bacon.
Bacon actually might beat you there.
Yeah.
I play
He's got more
PlayStation.
trophies than I do.
Yeah, but that's 'cause I hunt them. Anyway, Dan has just for the chat. Dan has more platinums than me, but
true.
I'm the pony. Okay. Anyways, back to Dan.
Dan's a pony.
Jose. I really, guys, in general, I don't know what we want to do for this episode. I don't know if we want to treat it like a normal one or if we want to reflect or talk to the chat. I was honestly just planning on hanging out. I was not planning on Morden making me cry. So what do you guys want to do for the episode? Should we finally discuss if we need to change the name and format of the show? What do you guys think about that?
It's up to you, man. You do what you want, man. I think we can start like normal and obviously interact with the chat, interact with our guests, and if we don't get through all the news, there's always next week. But just take it as it comes, man.
Okay. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody saying congratulations for 200 episode. I can't read all of them, but thank you so much. So shout out to Shay's Not Perfect. He was literally just watching an old STI video of mine on my Daddy Diwali channel. See, that still has more subscribers, more views on my WRX STI video. So shout out to Shay's Not Perfect. Appreciate you being here. Shay, I drive a Volkswagen Golf R now. Lots changed. Got to get to. I need to upload a video. I promise. The channel isn't dead, Shays. Jose, let's jump into Nerd Chat shout outs for the week. Shout out to Nice Shot 4042 responding to our Wolverine V3 controller review. I wrote him an answer before, and he's like, "Great! Did you guys see the new Scuff Valor Pro?"
That's Scuff Valor Pro.
That one right there.
What did you think about it? Hope you guys review that one. And I responded, we did mention it on our last show. Co-host X Bacon Gaming ordered one right away, and he will make a review as soon as he gets it. Hashtag see you online. Bacon, I had no idea you have it in possession. Did you make a short? Are you making content right now? Because we need to capitalize on this brand new hot controller. Give me your impressions of it so far.
I literally unboxed it on my way upstairs to this show, so I have yet to even touch.
Can you hold it up to the screen again? How does it feel? Initial thoughts on the
It
overall
feels like the
find?
Instinct Pro, the
Okay.
back, the grip, and all that. The nice thing is the back buttons can be taken out and blanks can go in there, so you don't accidentally hit them. You can only have two key.
That's
it's nice.
That's new
I
because
was
the old
confused.
one
Yep.
you can't remove
Yep.
those
So
ones.
I'll pop one out
Nice.
right. I'll pop
Show
one
me.
out right now. So popped out, and it comes with two blanks, so you can get rid of those two.
Wow.
That's kind of nice. That's a new addition.
That is.
It feels like an Xbox controller.
What about the
Dan.
bumpers? Because they extend over. They say.
They're wide. They come over to the edge, but they're super easy to actuate. So it almost kind of feels natural.
Are they mouse click like the triggers or no? Sounds like it. Or
And then the triggers again. So face buttons are just standard. Mashy. Not 100% sold on the D-pad, but I actually never use the D-pad for anything, and I don't get why people hate D-pads or critique D-pads. So other than pulling up spells in Avowed, I don't see why. But yeah, it's got 3 programmable racing
Todd has
mode,
a question for you.
shooting
Todd has a
mode,
question.
and-
Go ahead, Todd.
Yes, Todd in front.
Based on the intro of the show and the excitement that Dan got over the sound of those buttons, I think the review has to be an ASMR review.
Oh yeah.
These buttons are less than impressive. No, I mean, I'll definitely compare
That's
All my
Patreon
controllers.
content right there, because that's half of the Patreon videos is ASMR, ladies.
It takes a lot to dethrone the Wolverine 3, and I'm not saying it will, but I do like
We will
the
see.
texture. Wolverine's a little cold. I just picked it up in the hand. It's a little cold. It'll warm up, but the scuff is always warm. I don't know if that makes any sense, gentlemen.
Anyway, let's move on to XXZO90W. In response to Avowed, we were enjoying it. Compared to games that came out 20 years ago, Avowed is not good. Jose, you said my response is hilarious. What was my response?
You basically said, have you actually played this, or are you just responding to clips on TikTok? But thanks for watching.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to, we appreciate it. Go play the game. Go play games instead of whining about them all the time. And shout out to Likitsu one day ago. And this is breaking news, Jose. This is
Exclusive world premiere.
This is from our new TikTok account. Make sure you go follow us at the Nerd Chat on TikTok. We've got thousands of subs over there already. It's crazy. We are blowing up with the young kids, the Gen Zers on TikTok. And like Hitsu said, this was in response to my loving the zones in Avowed. I'm sorry, what? Starfield is zone to zone. You literally clear out each empty ass zone. Difference is Starfield has a zone for every room and loading screen in every zone.
Guy's angry.
All right, thanks, Likitsu.
I don't think he likes video games.
You don't like Starfield. And shout out to Treen17. It's true, the same experience, 24 hours and only started the second location. Oh, that one's good. He's agreeing with how much that teen likes it. Okay.
Change your tone on that one, Dan.
15-second reviews. Wouldn't Starfield technically be the same since each planet was a zone? Vader says, so you like linear garbage with no thought. But what's right in front of you? Linear is lazy. God, Jose, don't include that crap ever again.
Let's
on my-
kill
But
our TikTok.
I think that's an interesting question because I disagree with that wholeheartedly, respectfully. Like I'm not going to yell at the person, but like
Like
I
linear,
feel like
the
sometimes
linearity.
in the world it's too much. Where
Yeah.
I'm like I don't even know where to go, and I don't think Avowed is linear. I think you can play it linearly, but like I'm only in zone 2, but I literally didn't even go to the first objective. I just started clearing the edge of the map, and I'm like literally tracing the edge. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm having a great time. But it's not linear at all in that thing. So I just thought it was interesting. I wanted to hear Matt and Todd and Eric's thoughts on this just because they haven't been on the last couple of shows with us.
Yeah,
I'm 12 hours into Avowed, and I haven't even visited the ambassador yet.
Perfect. Yep.
But it's a linear game with no
Wow.
creativity and no exploration. Is lazy, Matt.
Like you haven't visited him the very first time, or
No, I got to him the first. I got to him the first time, right?
Okay.
Like,
So the bear. Yeah.
but I haven't gotten
Still awesome.
back to him.
Yeah.
Oh, you're in for it.
You got a
There's
shot
great
coming your way,
scene.
sir.
There is a
that.
scene.
Shout out to Gentle Stone. Congrats, Nerd Chat. Shout out to Nessa. Nessa gets lost a lot. Sorry, Nessa. But
I'm just glad
thankfully
she's
you're
playing it.
enclosed. Yeah, I'm glad you're playing it too. Todd, yeah, quickly, why don't you give me, what are you thinking of Avowed so far? I haven't really heard from you talk about it. I don't know if you mentioned it on Secret Friends or, I mean.
Not yet. So I didn't do the pre-order, so I didn't get the 3-day early access. So I started it. And let me just say I have one complaint, but it's more about the pre-install system
here-
that's out there.
Here we go. Todd has a problem with the Xbox app on PC as always.
Silly. It's silly because I'm looking, I'm like, well, why does the pre-install start when it goes live? It should have already been loaded
Yeah,
on
right.
my PC.
Not
That's
wrong.
fine.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I'm like, what is going on? So,
And every time you start it, it will load the shaders, which it doesn't. It takes like 10 seconds, but still, I mean, I'm okay with that because it.
why even do like a pre-install? It's like
don't know.
a 5 kilobyte file to say you've got this. Doesn't matter. But I am loving the game. I will say though, man, they want you to make you look ugly, like all of the god stuff, like the
Cordyceps.
fungus.
Turned it off.
No, I turned it off. Horrible. But they still know you're
You
kind
didn't
of an ugly
embrace
dude.
it. You didn't embrace it.
No.
Todd?
I have like the little fissures that kind
Yeah,
of light
the
up, so I
red
like
one,
that.
The default.
Yep.
One. Yeah.
So I am playing as a wizard, but I
gonna
love
ask.
the fact that dual wielding, whether it's the grimoire plus a
Spelloramus.
wand, whether it's
Spell.
it's the blunderbuss, which that's a hard weapon to use because there's a slow reload. I don't know if it gets
reload.
fastered,
Yeah.
but
Pistols
I'm
are
really
good.
loving it. And to the point of it being linear, no, it's not, because basically I took like a couple of different quests along the way and got lost, and there's things to explore and like, oh, I want to go after that. And I'm really enjoying the game quite a bit. And I did get to the first area, and I like how they managed that. I met my second companion, which I like him a lot. I think he's cool.
Really?
But there is a lot of talking. Well, there's a lot of talking in this game too. But I do appreciate that because it's there in the background. It's not something you actually have to pay attention to. It's not like, oh, if you didn't listen to him. But I'm really loving the game.
Todd,
I
did
think
you?
the one,
Did you beat Starfield?
I didn't go back to it. I was waiting.
Okay, I was going to say. So, are you
added.
enjoying this more than Starfield? Is what it sounds like.
I liked Starfield when I played it, but when I started hearing all of the things about like some missions are like, oh, I wanted more of those. Like it's the one mission where you're on the planet and there's like the alien creature that it's almost like what's that level called? Basically, you have to take that creature down. I love that level, and I heard there's not many like quests like that. They're more less
that was,
involved.
The Terramorph.
UC
Terramorph,
Vanguard,
yep.
yeah, that
was a great mission. I was hoping they'd be
that
allowed
whole storyline with them. Did you complete all of those?
No, I didn't, because like I said, I stopped playing Starfield because I'm like, I know some improvements are coming to the game, like maps and all these other things. So I'm like, I'll wait till it's at its best place, which it probably is now.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
then it's like other things got in the way. So that's the frustrating part. I wish it was there. But when PlayStation gamers are going to play this game, they'll be playing Starfield at its best it's ever been. So maybe that's not a bad thing for waiting.
+8 Metacritic score, obviously. I mean, it'll get the PlayStation bump. Speaking of PlayStation, Eric, I'd love to hear your impressions of Avowed so far, because I saw you've maybe played a little bit. I think you've got 30 achievos, done like 2 things, too busy playing PlayStation.
How did Eric play it if he's the PlayStation owner member? I thought he would stop, not play this game until it's on PlayStation.
Until he gets the platinum, correct. Eric, what do you think?
Okay, I just want to dispel this baloney. I'm not a PlayStation fanboy. I actually haven't played much Avowed.
Eric, why do you think we brought you on the show? It's to bring balance, to bring some PlayStation,
well, you picked the wrong
viewpoints.
guy, man.
We have
You should
bacon
pick
for
Joe
that.
or something. I played a little bit of Avowed. I did the tutorial 3 times because I wanted to try different classes and things like that.
It forces you to use everything in the tutorial.
No, but you get like you choose like your different abilities and things like that, right?
Okay.
Like anyway, I don't have enough play to give an opinion. I think it's crazy to say it's linear though. It's obviously not. No. It's made in the same kind of vein as Outer Worlds, but it feels a little bit bigger than Outer Worlds. And Outer Worlds is not a linear game, so like that commentary doesn't make any sense to me. I think the tutorial. You could correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like the tutorial is kind of like a very small kind of encapsulation of what you can expect for the game. There was like nooks and crannies that I was looking in, lore that I was finding around corners, chests behind waterfalls.
Did you guys all get the achievement for finding that room in the castle?
Yeah. Things like that were like really cool.
Oh no, Tom.
Room in the castle?
There was a button to push on the wall.
Yeah. Eric, you're describing it.
Which castle is this?
Really does. The intro castle, where you start off.
Intro.
Oh no, I left too soon then.
Twice. I didn't.
You get like I think there's some type of gear in there that you.
There's one of
the exploration.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I've been playing a lot of the Steam Next Fest stuff. I've been waiting for Monster Hunter. I didn't want to get too invested into Avowed and then have to ditch it for Monster Hunter, and then I'll never come back.
Got it.
So
Are you a big Monster Hunter guy?
I'm not. I actually don't like Monster Hunter.
But you made that promise with Ains.
But you're going to play it on your portal?
I thought who you made the promise.
I did play. I created my character on my portal actually because I was watching Gabby's.
Eric, why don't you show us, your PlayStation hardware while you're grabbing your portal and your new PlayStation controller? Matt, will you tell me what? There it is.
I mean, I like the black. It's much better.
Oh, jet black.
What class are you in Avowed? What's your gameplay like?
So I started off because you can switch around and stuff. So
you can switch at any time.
I started off as a ranger. I just felt like I don't often play that class, and I really wanted to play like a good bow and arrow. I'm loving the bow and arrow. I'm freaking like sniping the living daylights
on that, Matt.
Everything.
I love how you don't have to worry about arrows or ammunition.
Oh, hell,
you don't have to collect them. You don't have to buy them. You just have infinite arrows and bullets. Great. Thank you.
My son actually is like a Tears of the Kingdom junkie, and he was watching me play a little Avowed the other day, and he's like, you better watch out how many arrows you're shooting. And I look over and I'm like,
nope.
Unlimited arrows. He's like,
what?
This is how it's done.
What? This is how it's done. Yeah. So I mean, I've tested everything out, like the grimoire and the wand and stuff like that. Like the guns and stuff are a little slow, but they're really cool. And I just got this like pretty badass dagger that I put an enchantment on. So I'm like, I feel like I'm slicing and dicing and just sniping the living daylights out of everything. So it's cool. I'm loving it. I'm having a great time. It definitely rewards you. Like, so I'm just exploring the living daylights out of everything. And on top of that, it's like, you also know that there's certain little nooks and stuff that you don't have to look in. Like, you don't have to waste your time because it's not that it's obvious, but it's like, no, there's nothing over there. And it is exactly what I expected from Obsidian. It's exactly what I got from Obsidian. Like, there's nothing to be disappointed about. It's a great time. I don't mind all the chatting either. I'm like an RPG nerd.
Yeah. And I'm playing it where I'm kind of skipping
engaged. it. Nah, I'm fully
I'm
engaged.
just reading quickly.
I find myself I'm reading
things, yeah.
Like I'm reading like my lines out loud, like as if like I'm really there. I'm like
you're into it, which is great. That's great. And you love Pillars, though. You love Pillars. You have a different perspective.
I really enjoyed both Pillars of Eternity games. I played the first one.
So I bet all this lore, you're like, oh, I know exactly what Kyle's talking about.
Things are definitely popping. Like, I'm like, oh yeah. Like, I had to watch like a bunch of videos and stuff like that. Like, I know Obsidian put those videos out, but I feel like did they not put all of them?
Chance didn't like them. Chance, go ahead, Chance.
Yeah, they did not do it for me. I tried. And
I mean, they didn't do much at all. Like, they gave a great little like 3-minute, like, here's this, and Matthew Mercer did it, and that was great. But you got to do some deep dives back into like. You got to watch some like Pillars nerds online. Like,
so let me ask you this then, because one of the things that I was disappointed in after having gotten into it now a little bit more is that the character creator really, you're just human or elf. And there's so many other races that you could have made really awesome characters with. Is that normal for Pillars?
But you're oh my god, why am I slipping? You're
a deer.
Yeah, you are not from like those other races. Like, you are a very specific person playing a very specific
like Oblivion when you're coming from Cyrodiil.
Right. So you can't you don't
you're an Imperial.
You don't have that freedom to choose anyone you want within the universe. You're playing a very specific part.
Gotcha.
That's what I got from it.
Shout out to Gentle Stone in the chat. It's as linear as you want it to be. If you don't explore the world, that's a choice you, the player, made. And Nissa said, I gave Jose a video that gave a deep dive on Pillars of Eternity.
You're a fool if you don't explore the world. Like, there's like no reason not to.
But you can Golden Path, and I don't feel like you're punished for it, which is nice too.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that what you're doing, Todd?
A little bit of that, because I just want to see the things. I was burned by one of the Dragon Ages where I stayed in the hinterlands way too long. And I'm like, I'm not making that mistake again. I'm going to go and see what this world is about. I'm assuming I can go back to those other zones, travel to them, or no?
I haven't gotten there yet. Couldn't tell you.
I'm still in the first. I still haven't seen the ambassador the second time.
I guess Todd's like, well, I'm out.
I'm gonna go check the new world.
If Hinterland's too long,
Todd, we didn't mean to upset you that much.
My hand hit the keyboard by accident. I was calling child services on Dan. Yes.
Hey, keep that on the deal. Can you go back to? Were you asking if you can go back to the previous zones?
Yeah, to the zones. Yes.
Yeah. You can go back at any time.
Okay.
Except not that first one. You're gonna have to go back and start a new character to get that achievement. Sorry.
Which I did get. I had to check. Obviously.
Okay.
It just didn't pop. Is that normal on PC?
Yeah, sometimes on PC they don't pop.
Hit or miss.
Got the door,
or I'll see it on my phone.
Yeah, and I'm like, no.
Jose, why do we play games, Jose?
You play to win the game.
Actually, Chance, I think you're right. Mine didn't pop either. And then I was checking my achievements at night. I was like, 2. And then,
I mean, what achievement is this again?
Oh my gosh! Shout out to the shout outs, Jose. Let's jump into Xbox news for the week. I forgot to do timestamps already.
Assemble!
News story number 1, boys. I don't know. I sent this into our chat with Eric. Eric saw some of these stats. Eric and I got into a heated debate on the kind of funny interview Kind of funny interview with Matt Piscatella about modern gaming habits. Todd or Matt, were any of you guys able to catch a glimpse of this interview?
Yes.
You did? Matt, what about you?
I did not know.
Okay. Jose, you wouldn't happen to be able to pull up those clips, would you? Oh, here, I'll send
starting at 15?
Yeah, one's queued up.
No. I'll email it to you, Jose, and pull it up because I think that. Oh, shout out! Live update. Shay's not perfect. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Shout out to Shay for subscribing already. Basically, Matt. Sorry.
No.
It's hard to
So
do
we
two
up to
things.
341 now? Is that-
No, that was actually to Jose. Can you bring up the Discord, our chat? It's in there. I actually don't know if I saved it. If you scroll back, but anyway, I'll give you the gist of it if you find it, Jose. The first quote, which was shocking,
The nerd chat in the Discord.
in our private chat. If you scroll back a ways, it's there. Matt Piscatella was talking to Greg Miller. Shout out to Kind of Funny on this interview, and he was. The shocking thing that really stood out to me was that he said that 30% of gamers right away, all gamers, 30% will not buy a game this year. The entire year. 1/3 of gamers do not buy a single game. Okay. Then you add 18% will buy one game every 6 months, like your Maddens or football club or a Call of Duty, right? So right away, 30, 18, that's 50% of gamers, Eric, will only buy one game every 6 months at most. And then he said the small, what was it? I think it was 18% are the hardcore, like all of us here,
Twitter guys,
who are buying more than maybe a game a month. Maybe, right? I don't even think any of us are buying a game a month. And when I heard that, it completely blew me away. And that's 50%, Todd. One game or less. When you hear these numbers, Todd, I'll go to you first. How do you react to hearing those statistics and the interview?
It's honestly not surprising. The makeup of gamers today is largely free to play. That's what's increased the size of gamers. And if they talk to gamers, now are they talking about console owners and PC owners, or are they talking about mobile gamers? Because they can also play games. So the majority of mobile gamers, a lot of them are playing free to play, like Candy Crush, Call of Duty, Warzone, those type of games, even Fortnite at mobile. And then if you're on console, a lot of the reason why people haven't upgraded because they can still play those free-to-play games on, Xbox One.
Xbox 4? What the?
Chronologically, that is the number.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hold on, Todd. Captain Logan said that doesn't add up to 100%. Yes, there was another section in there that buys like
Correct.
2 or 3 games every quarter or something. If that, there's an in between, Captain Logan. But yeah, keep going, Todd.
Yeah. So if you think about, there's all people that old systems like even Switch, Fortnite, and those games are there as well. And so at this point, what are the games that are going to drive the majority of the masses? It's going to be something big, like a Madden, College Football 25. It's going to be Call of Duty, and maybe Nintendo games, but that's obviously a smaller subset. So what other games are people really in the majority going to buy? That's a question. And if you think about it, there's not that many like huge games that break through the barrier to the mainstream, unless it's maybe a Spider-Man or something that has an IP, a Hogwarts Legacy. Even if you look at Hogwarts Legacy, that game's been huge. So with that, when you see a game like Dragon Age, Veilguard,
Indiana Jones,
it doesn't do well. Indiana Jones as well. And even you saw today or maybe yesterday, Veilguard is going to be on PS Plus.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
4 months.
So
that is so wild. It's got to become.
It does worry me about the future of games that, like myself, I'm the oldest of the gamers here. Games that I grew up on, where online was sometimes basically a LAN party, like the first Halo game. You had to connect your Xboxes. There was no across that. So I think that age is going away. which is sad, but that's the truth. I just don't think the future of gaming is buying a $70 game. I think it's going to be more hybrid services, things like that. And so that's the scary part if you're a traditional gamer or a developer and you've got to turn a profit. That's very scary. So that's why I believe these numbers.
Speaking of the future of gaming, Todd, and you think it's free to play. Eric in our chat said option A, make $1 billion on Baldur's Gate 3. Option B, maybe make $100 billion, most likely lose. You said lose hundreds of millions of dollars. Option C, don't do anything. So are you telling me that everyone is taking B or C in the scenario, that no one is going to try option A? Are we the only thing being marketed to like the days before games as a service? No. Are there still way many core gamers to the point where we physically do not have enough time in our lives to play them? Yes. Is that business still making money? Yes. Eric, you and I were in a heated debate about
like
the success
100
of
comments.
single player games versus the future, the statistically driven, backed up by data. We are seeing it for the past 10 years of data. Eric, what would you like to say to Mr. Matt Piscatella and to all of us here at the Nerd Chat about single player games versus games as a service and people's spending habits? Go ahead, Eric.
There's a lot to say. I think that I'm not going to say it all right now. Just briefly, I will say the statistics that he is citing are designed to grab headlines. I don't think it's doom and gloom. There's so much more data that you would need to actually make sense of that statistic. Yeah. Like, for example, gamers, like the amount of people playing games has increased from 2 to 3 billion people in the last 10 years. So like, there's so many people that still buy games. You have so many games that come out that are not service games that are matching and exceeding and tripling and quadrupling their budgets and making tons of profits. And what that quote that you just read back, that's me saying there are people that are making non-service games that are making tons of money. Dragon Age Veilguard was a flop, yes, but there's so many other games that were not flops that made tons of money that are going to get sequels. There's so many teams that are going to get.
Are there?
Yes, there are. There definitely is. And with the advancements in tools like Unreal and the lowering of the bar for getting your game published, you don't have to like print 1 million discs. You don't have to get into Walmart. There's so many ways that you can make games these days. You have companies like the people at Game Science that made Wukong. That's not a game that could exist in the way that it does like 10 or 15 years ago, because they would need a publisher. They would need to like print this. They would need to get into Walmarts and things like this. Now they have all these tools that just a team of developers that's never made a console game or a AAA game before can make Wukong, have it be nominated for Game of the Year and sell 20, 30 million copies. Like there's so many. Just
7 million outside of China.
I forgot. So the ones in China were actually free copies. They didn't actually.
I'm just saying.
Why can we not count China?
I'm just saying that's not really a fair game.
You can point at Veilguard and say it was a disaster or failure. Okay. It was. I can also point at tons and tons of live service games that they just dumped hundreds of millions of dollars into that flopped. I can look at studios that have perennially made money and tons of success, like, I don't know, BioWare, the ones that we were talking about all this entire episode. They got forced to try to make a live service game. It blew up in their face. Half the team quit because of it. And then when they tried to make Veilguard, they couldn't. And then that flopped. So their push to live service totally destroyed all the profitability that studio has. So yes, there's going to be lots of live service games, and there are going to be some very few live service games that are going to make tons of money and have long tails. But there's going to be tons and tons of live service games, ask Jim Ryan about it, that are going to fail and lose tons of money, both in actual cost and in opportunity cost, because if PlayStation would have invested half of that money into non-live service games, they probably would have recouped most of it. You could argue that based on their track record of their success with live service games. You point at something like Astrobot all the time, say it sold 1.52 million copies, whatever, but it also tripled the budget. So that's a success. That's a profitable game. Just because it's not Fortnite doesn't mean it's not.
Exactly. But Go ahead, Bacon.
How can you explain Wukong selling 5 million on the PS5, but the game of the year, Astrobot, only selling 1.5 on the PS5?
Because they don't base it off of money.
Because sales have nothing. Okay,
I'm
can
just
you
saying,
explain to
it's
me?
Transformers never won an Oscar.
It's a
Just-
Sony
okay, never mind.
first-party game.
Bacon is just attacking Astrobot as
should've
usual.
sold.
Bubble Boy, tell me your thoughts on this. Then I'm going to throw it over to Matt after I show a clip. Jose, I just emailed you the second clip. Could you bring that up? I sent it to Chipotle Bear email.
The point that I think is the best is what Logan was saying, and I think he was joking, but he was what he said makes sense. He's like, "Well, I didn't take that survey, right?" And I think I've said
Wait. What survey?
the
Piscatella
survey that says
It's not a
how
survey.
many
Matt
people-
gets numbers from Xbox, from PlayStation, from Nintendo, from retailers on sales. This is not like imaginary data. Okay,
He works
and
for
not only-
Circana, which
and-
used to be the NPD.
Exactly,
My company
and-
uses Circana, and
Exa-
it's real data
Exactly,
provided
and-
from all those sources. Yes.
Eric's like he's trying to create this for certain news stories. No, he is
I
presenting
didn't say
us.
that. I didn't say that.
But here's what. Okay,
Real-
so
and
here's what
wait,
I'll
and
say.
on Matt used to be an analyst in general for like other industries, analyzing all.
He used to work for Activision.
Activision.
He used to work for Activision.
like other
Yeah.
companies. So I
he's an
believe what
Xbox.
Matt is telling us and what he is seeing in these trends. So sorry, go ahead, Bubble.
Sure, but like with any statistic, any amount of data, I know I've used this phrase on the show before that there's lies, there's damn lies, and then there's statistics, right? You can paint a picture of whatever you want if you spin the data right and you put out exactly what you want there. I have a hard time. What?
What is he trying to spin? That's what I'm confused about.
I don't know, and that's why I'm a little.
Can I
hesitant to
clear
believe it.
something up a little bit? I'm not trying to suggest he's spinning something.
Just
or
real
making
quick on
stuff
per.
up. Well,
Okay,
I-
Jose's
all
got the
I'm
clip. Sorry.
All I'm saying is there's more. You have to dig so much deeper when you look at the top of the statistic tree. There's so many roots that make everything make sense. Like if there was 2 billion people playing video games in 2015, and I don't know, let's say 10% of them don't buy a game that year, and now there's 3 billion people and 30% of people are not buying games, and the numbers have gone up. You could say that people are just not buying games anymore all of a sudden, or you could say that free to play games has brought more people into gaming, and those people are more likely to play free to play games. Doesn't mean that people are not
True.
buying physical games. You could point to so many people, millions of copies being sold of these games. So it's like,
Yeah, here's the thing. Everybody, if anyone's interested in this interview, go watch it. It's on Kind of Funny. It was just last week. It's really good, Todd. Like I don't know if you watched it. It's really interesting. It's worth your time watching. Please watch it because he talks about some of the scenarios about the pandemic and what Eric's implying. Like a lot, it did bring a game. Why are they not anymore? Like what's going to happen in the future? What's the next Xbox to bring? What has Game Pass been like for Xbox? I didn't even talk about that. We can talk about that later. But Jose, is that clip ready to go here?
Yeah.
Okay, Jose's going to bring up a clip, and then I want to throw it over to Matt because Matt has not seen this, and he probably hasn't heard this one. So go ahead, Jose. Let's bring up Matt Piscatella on the interview.
Just real quick on purchase frequency, like how many games someone buys in a period, right?
Yeah.
30% of people that play video games will not buy a video game this year.
Wow.
So that's a third of the audience that just won't buy. A further 18% purchase a new game every 6 months or less frequently. So these are your folks that are buying Madden or EAFC, or they're picking up Call of Duty, right? Your big mass market only kind of buyer. The kind of purchaser that's watching this show, you're probably buying at least one game a month, maybe more. Only 12% of video game players buy a game once a month. Only 4% buy games more often than once per month. So, when we're talking.
So there it is. So there is a missing percentage in there, but that wasn't the clip I wanted you to show, Jose. I sent the wrong one. That's my bad.
was a good clip,
Matt,
He may
just
be
on
talking
that,
about new games too, rather than catalog games.
Top 4% for me. I'll take that any day.
I don't know. Yeah.
I just bought 15 with that.
Well,
assessment.
speaking of, before I throw it over to that, just looking at our chat right here, Gentle Stone, I bought 3 years of Game Pass subs. I buy a game when I want to play again when it's on discount. So again, not buying a game perfect. I'm the same way. I've got so much Game Pass. I rarely buy games. When I buy games, it's $20 a month. And I don't think Concord failed because of money instead of nickel and dime. What is Gentle Stone?
Because they charged for Concord instead of making it free to
Oh,
play.
instead of making it free to play.
You know, you
Jose-
subscribe to Game Pass, you are buying games, right? Like the developers.
Well, I
make the
know,
game,
I know.
they
Yeah,
get paid for
I
the
agree.
game.
But the problem with me though, Eric, is I've never paid full price for Game Pass. I've probably paid like 50% less. I'm a part of the
Yeah,
problem.
but Microsoft
Expect
paid
and haste
tons of money to the developers to put it on Game
True,
Pass.
true.
What was
Matt-
the deal? You could get 3 years of Game Pass when you converted your Xbox Live membership. That was the deal.
Oh yeah, that's what I did. That's what I did. If there was a time where if you could stack it to 3 years and upgrade for like $1 or no, it was for 1 year of Xbox
It was
Live. That's
$60 for a
what
year
it
of
was.
Live, and you got
exactly.
a
So I
year
got
of
like
it. Yeah, it
2
was
years
crazy.
of Game Pass Ultimate. Jose, I just sent you the other one. Matt, what are your initial reactions to those numbers that we were kind of talking about?
I'm kind of just copying off of like what a lot of you guys said, but I want to kind of say like, you know, I'm an elementary school teacher. I hear kids all the time talking about like I got some like, you know, I got some like fun little trinkets and stuff like that in my classroom. I got my little like sacred symbols lights. I got my little Xbox lava lamps and stuff like that. They all ask me about, you know, what consoles I have. I have a Nintendo Switch in my room, and they all freak out. And
You
they
have a
talk
Switch
about
in your
this-
room?
Yeah, I do a Mario
That's
Kart
awesome.
after school club.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
So
Nice.
we got like a 90-inch smartboard. And the kids talk about the consoles they have, and like, you know, some kids are like, I have
Take
5
the
Xboxes.
10
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
That's the one, Jose.
And you know, when they talk about the games they have,
Let's hear it.
they
Fortnite,
talk about
Roblox.
Fortnite. They talk about Roblox. They talk about Minecraft. They talk about, and they have their Maddens and stuff like that. And you know, we're also looking.
So
at,
nobody's talking about Mass Effect.
Well, I mean,
Not-
no.
well, great.
Has any kid talked about about?
8-year-olds are not talking about
Yeah,
Mass
no.
Effect.
How about
So-
the Switch
I hope
games?
they're not.
They're new. Is that prevalent?
Yeah, that's a great question. Newer Switch games, more
Yeah.
kid oriented.
Pokemon.
Okay, well, makes sense.
How many games did you get a year when you were 8 though? Because I got
Exactly.
birthday, Christmas. That's
so
it.
Birthday, Christmas, yeah.
Part,
Matt, go ahead,
part of
Matt.
part of what I was going to say is, you know, when I was that age, you know, birthday, Christmas, or whatever holidays. But nowadays, it's like it's those, you know, kind of like what Todd said. It's those free to play games. You know, they're playing it on their tablets. They're playing it on their Kindle Fires. They're playing it on their iPads.
Speaking of those free to play games, Jose, bring up this next one, which was also absolutely mind blowing. And this is the one I originally wanted to share before I toss it over to Matt. Pull it up, Jose. This is Matt Pescatella and those live service games.
You take the 10 biggest live service games on PlayStation and Xbox. 7 out of every 10 people that turn on their console will play at least one of those games every month. And in terms of total time they're taking, those 10 games alone every month take up 40% of total play time on the console.
Say that to
So,
JBiz.
you know, you look back 10 years before the big revolution of live service games, you know, people would get the big game, they'd move to the next big game, move to the next big game. You had that full pool of players and hours to pull from. Now, because of these live service behemoths, half of the gaming time on consoles is just gone. It's going to be eaten by those games, right? So you're fighting more and more for those hours and players that are remaining.
Guys, 7 out of 10 gamers, all of us here, play a live service game. When we play a live service game, that's taking up 40, almost 50% of our play time right away.
That's not necessarily what that means.
What?
I don't play any.
The total percent of playtime is across all gamers, and he's talking about 7 out of 10 play those games. So not
Again,
ev-
yes, not 10 out of 10, but still, the point still stands. That's a huge majority of gamers
think
who are
about it
spending
this way,
almost half their time on live service games. So exactly, how do we play these other single player games? That's why these games aren't selling.
Think
Chance,
about
go
it this
ahead.
way. So there was this many of us, right? It was a finite number of us that were in our generation, and it's probably gone down a little bit. But we, yeah, sorry.
We're getting old.
That group,
Todd,
now has
Todd.
money to spend, and is
And
spending
he talks
more
about that in
money
the interview. He talks about this.
than what we used to be able to. This generation below us, just mathematically speaking, is significantly larger than us. They also have access so much more than we had access. So they're going to make up such a bigger piece of the pie. The pie that they take up can't be always seen as like, this is the pie we have to go after, because they don't have the money. They might not be, or there's nobody saying that they won't turn into us when they have money themselves too. Who's to say that all these kids, Jose?
Finish your thought, and then I'll tell you.
Who's to say that all these kids that are playing free-to-play games right now, like Minecraft or Fortnite, when they have disposable income and are our age, aren't going to be attracted to bigger types of games? I don't think that anyone's making that argument.
Okay. Big Box was right. Jose, did you want to talk to a Chance's point, or should I let Bacon get in here?
I just want to point out, and I, to be fair, shout out to Logan in the chat. He's making some great points.
What's his great point? What did he say? That's his narrative?
Xbox dead.
And to be very clear, this is Matt Piscatel's narrative, for the record. But to be also clear for people that don't follow this, which is, again, it's like 4% of us.
80% of gamers, yeah, 90% of gamers.
In case they're listening, so they understand, the point here is that they're saying, Matt does this every day. This is his job, right? To collect this data. He's not an armchair analyst like the rest of us. And I mean that respectfully, but the reality is we all have other jobs, right? And we do this for fun on the side. This is his entire job. Data is his life. His point here of this argument, and it is really a great interview. I only got to see the first like 15 minutes of it. I had to stop it right before Dan's part.
It's really good. Keep watching it.
He's basically talking about trying to explain to Greg Miller how we got to this place. That's what he's trying to do. He's not arguing that it's all doom and gloom. And a lot of it, what he's talking about is that we got to this kind of crappy place.
Wait, Jose. Nissa, I need you to ban Fearful Banker right now. You're a mod. Get him out of here. Get that bot out of here.
Okay. What he's really trying to talk about is basically the idea that when COVID happened, we not only had us that were already playing games, but we had this huge bubble of gamers because everyone was kind of stuck at home and there was a lot of more like extra free time, and all these people kind of that maybe were gamers in their past or more hardcore gamers basically had time to kind of get back into the hobby. And so that injected a ton of money into the industry, which then injected a ton of talent into the industry. Companies ballooned. They had excess money to build these massive projects, and we loved it. It was great. It was a fantastic time. But now that we're coming out of that, they just don't have the same income anymore. There's not that many playing as many games as they once were in that time. And so they're having to adjust. And one of the areas that they're really struggling with is that games take a long time to make. So anything that started in that era is kind of just coming out now. And they were hoping would make so much more money like it did then. And it's just not. And so they're having to adjust that element to kind of compensate. And it's called, in economics, we call that creative destruction, right? So like people, it's moving things forward. It is growing the industry, but ultimately it's problematic because people are losing their jobs, because companies are folding, right? Like big names that we've known our entire life are no longer there. And it's not just necessarily that they're ending, but like take Arcane Austin with Redfall. You can certainly look at Concord, but like these companies that have always been stable pillars of the industry are no longer safe. And so that doesn't feel great, right? But he also is very clear in the interview, and I'll pass it over to you, Todd. He's very, very clear that this is about change, and ultimately gaming is going to be fine. It's still a billion-dollar industry worldwide. It's not going away. It's just going to look different. And all the people that say like the future of like, I'm not saying Fortnite and Roblox and all those things are going away. It's just going to look different, right? Because the reality is, even our kids, that we reference them a lot in the show, and Matt's students and stuff, yeah, they're into those things right now, but they're not into that forever. Like I can confirm with you, like every kid was probably into Minecraft at one point. They get to me in high school. There are still kids that play Minecraft, but it's very few. They go to other games as well. Like, it's just some of that you have to be proud of, is that at least they're gaming, at least they're enjoying this hobby. And like, as a parent, as a teacher, as an educator, it's a really nice way to connect with kids beyond just the classroom. So I will stop talking. Todd, what do you want to say?
No, you make a great point, Jose, because I can speak to that. I've got probably the oldest child. He's 19. He's in college. He's a freshman. He will get back into Minecraft every once in a while, play with his friends. But the games he's into is far different. Now he wants to spend money not on a new console. He wants to upgrade his GPU. He's got a 3060 Ti. So yeah. Thanks, Bacon. Yeah. We created a nightmare here.
Smart kid right there. Gentle Stone. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say, but I think something that we have to understand, gaming is far different than other media and other areas where every movie that is big comes out with some type of advertisement, has some type of to reach out beyond just to maybe make a movie become like four quadrants to attract everyone. I feel like right now, the only games that get publicized are the biggest games. The biggest games, Call of Duty, Madden, those are the ones that get advertised. So I don't know how gaming can grow and seep into the masses unless you're like a Fortnite or something free to play where you lower the barrier where somebody mentions it. $70 is a big entry point. And if you've never seen the game, you aren't watching IGN every day. I don't know what gaming needs to do, but it's got to do a better job with marketing, spreading the word about the different systems. I mean, has Steam Deck ever had a commercial? No. You know, when was the last time you saw PlayStation do anything beyond just like montages of things? They don't advertise their systems.
Spider-Man,
I mean,
that's the only thing I
Xbox
can think
every
of.
once in a while will do like a advertisement for a game on something. And Nintendo is just everywhere with their ads. So I think marketing in video games has to change dramatically, or the free-to-play games will win because the barrier of entry is lower and that's what people are talking about. So I think we need to grow up as an industry to be better at marketing.
Great points, Todd. Let's start over to Bacon. Bacon, closing thoughts on these. You're not shocked at all, are you, Bacon? You're Nostradamus as well. You know that this is where it's been going.
No, I'm not. But now that I think about it, I literally do not play a single free-to-play game anywhere in my life at any time. I did play Apex for a little bit, but that was about it.
COD multiplayer, Black Ops?
Warzone.
You play Warzone. Warzone counts.
Do I play Warzone, Dan?
Halo multiplayer?
You've played it with
I
us.
play Warzone? No. So it sucks because single player games are my jam, and I love them. And seeing where the industry's heading is kind of shocking. Dragon Age Veilguard was a great game. I don't care what anyone says. It's a great game. The manufactured hate for that game, I don't get. But so it is tough. But like to Jose's point of the kids are starting to play games, and maybe they do eventually graduate to playing real games, and buying hardware, buying PC parts and stuff like that. That's the ultimate hope. And again, that's why Microsoft started tracking monthly active users instead of game sales, because it's a much better metric, especially with something like Game Pass that won't advertise sales because there aren't sales in Game Pass. So I hope there's a course correction coming and things come in cycles. And I've kind of been saying this for a long time that I figured Fortnite would have died long ago, and it hasn't. So I'm not sure my cycles theory is gonna pan out. I don't think Fortnite's ever going anywhere, and that's the sad part. And shout out to Joe for his Epic account being hacked and taken, and I feel bad that he lost all his Fortnite skins.
He's reporting to the...
Bacon, did you do that on purpose?
Did you set that up? Were you a part of this too? He got you?
Oh, that
You
chat.
said that
I saw him in the green room, so I had to mention
no
him.
idea. This is twice this has happened. God.
It was an open invitation to join the show, Dan.
Let me tell you guys
The
something.
real Xbox fan has
Here
arrived.
we're getting outnumbered. There are 5 Sony ponies here now.
Thank you. Real Xbox fan, buying your game, supporting yourself. Listen, Tim Sweeney, what are we doing? This is going to be my 3rd attempt. The Epic support, if your account gets hacked by whatever mischievous individual, okay,
I think it's
you're
Russians.
going to be met with some of the most. Listen,
Get this man some V-Bucks.
there's the fact that I had to go through the Better Business Bureau to open an investigation. I don't know what the Better Business Bureau is. There are people that have been waiting for Epic's help for months about getting their account back. There are some people that have gotten hacked that have the authenticator. And the fact that Epic Games, their service, is hiring, I have no idea, people that just don't even know how to check their grammar. For example, they
You're
go,
talking to a bot, Joe.
they go, we know,
AI.
this is unfortunate for you. No was spelled N-O. Wait for it. N-O. It's is diets. is then suddenly they're I'm like, dude, it's frustrating because it's either you're talking to a person that English is not their first language, or you're talking to a bot, and it's just unbelievable. This is Epic. This is a company that makes
Joe?
millions every quarter.
All right, let's
I've got a
Why
question.
can't they figure it out? Yes.
Joe, did you buy your V-Bucks on Facebook Marketplace?
No, and so like
He
that's,
bought them on Eneba.
so here's
Enema?
actually
Enema?
here's the
Enema.
fucked up thing, and this is where
CD
it
keys.
gets really screwy. If I bought the V-Bucks through PayPal, like if I bought them directly from Epic and not like Xbox or PlayStation or whatever, it'd actually be easier for them to track my account.
Wow.
Their service is so lousy. I have had to, first off, I go, okay, so what do I need to prove? All right, let's go all the way back at the beginning. My account got hacked.
Strap in, everybody.
Okay? My Fortnite account of thousands of dollars probably got hacked, right? And I go, okay, this
Wait.
has happened, blah, blah, blah.
Why didn't you have two-factor authentication?
I didn't know.
That's true.
So here's
2FA
the thing.
is the key.
Never have
Right?
kids, Joe.
Well, no, it's not. Here's the thing. It's not. Not with Fortnite, not with Epic, because there is an easy way to get around to two-factor authentication. The way that you can retrieve someone's email is so incredibly simple. There's literally YouTube shorts telling you how to hack someone's account in less than a minute. It's embarrassing that this billion-dollar company is still functioning with this system in place. So I messaged them first. I was like, hey, what do I need? They're like, just give it a shot. Just all we need is your invoice of the first transaction you've made with us. I found it. I'm like, here's my invoice ID, blah, blah, blah. Gets struck down. They go, okay, now we need not just your invoice ID, but we need every time you linked an account. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I did that and I showed them it. And they go, okay, now they struck it down. And so they're like, now we need proof that you're the account person. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm right here.
Jose?
What else do you need? While every single reply is like littered with literally, like, it's like Dan's kid is on the keyboard and he's typing it. Like we're having a chat. Like that's how bad this
He's
I'm gonna call him
learning.
kid. This kid's spelling is. It's like I'm dyslexic and I'm noticing your grammar errors. That's embarrassing.
That's how you know.
So Epic support cannot be trusted. It is very embarrassing, and
Wait.
there is Reddit forums of people that have to have gone through the Better Business Bureau.
Speaking of Business Bureau, Mavad does in the chat said,
Yes.
BBB works, Joe. Opened my case, and it was about 2 weeks, but finally got an actual person at Epic to email me. Issue was resolved. Hold strong.
That's right.
I mean, we've been going on.
Was
like
it Luke?
3 weeks now,
Was it
right?
Luke mad because you cheated on his mom?
No, maybe it's her because I cheated on her.
Maybe you're talking to an actual hacker at this point, said Diego. Dinero
don't know.
Primero.
It's just a mess. Okay?
Well,
I'm
That's
sorry
my
for you,
struggle.
buddy.
We are sorry for you because,
So
guys,
now
he
I'm
really.
spending money in Marvel Rivals.
Everybody, check out his clips. I heard him talking about it last night on the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. He was talking about how he thinks he's in the top 100 silent
Lock your
players
count.
in the world on
And after the last
console.
match I had,
Yeah, well, go watch his
they
clips.
called me a bum.
Go watch. Thank you,
I agreed with
Joe,
him.
for sharing your story on Epics. Can we? Any thoughts? Did you catch any of?
Can I closing argument?
Okay, good.
Tim Sweeney has a smelly ass.
He's probably right.
Wash your
He
ass,
probably does.
Tim.
Eloquent.
Wash your ass. You may own a literal forest. You can go use a tree, wipe your ass.
You know, I don't mind Tim Sweeney
It
because
smells
he.
like shit.
Is it- Tim, at least Tim Sweeney.
Family show.
Thank you. He's fighting the good fight. He is taking on Apple, so I
Apple doesn't
appreciate
need
that.
to be taken on.
He doesn't need to be
He lost
taken.
Apple.
He did lose that.
Guys, let's move on to. Let's just close off all the news stories really quickly.
He doesn't
here.
wipe, and we all know it, folks.
Let's talk about
He
Fable.
has a dirty ass Tim, is what they're all saying. They say he has
Fable.
a dirty rear, dirty posterior.
Fable.
Jose, can you
let's talk
or
about
actually, Joe, can you talk about? Can you have Obama bringing on the ID at Xbox showcase?
Yes. What was shown at the ID at Xbox? Got a little indie games.
It's not that bad.
You got a little sandbox guy. You got Fable. Sasha and Michelle. They love Fable.
Perfect. Thank you, Mr. President.
Our dog Fido. He loves Fable.
It's pretty good.
No, it's really good. That's what I was saying last night. He really should
Yes.
start a TikTok for that. He really should get the AI like over your face somehow.
Let's go.
No,
This is the RFK.
Don't do
do
that. Don't do that.
don't do that. Don't do that.
My RFK.
Oh yeah, here we go.
It's just
Yeah,
a, it's just
okay.
a,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a grabbing old voice. Everybody gets the flu. It's normal. We act like it's no one ever gets it. It's wrong. It's not. It builds your immunity.
Can we bring back Dan's Joker voice?
No, please don't.
I want to know how I got these scars. You know, I got a lot of voices.
How about the old prospector, Joe?
Yeah, bring
By
Arthur
God, let's
Morgan.
talk about Fable.
No, I want Arthur Morgan. Arthur Morgan talking about Balatro coming to Game Pass.
By God, Latro. As I live and breathe, little Jimbo and his little dick of cards. Lord God damn, I love little Jimbo. That's right. Why you guys making me do voices?
News story number 2. The ID at Xbox
The listeners are like, this is terrible. What happened?
showcase
Numbers
with
just went down by
IGN.
Why are they making the fat Hispanic dude dumb voices?
Oh my gosh! Yes, Fable's been delayed to 2026. Great, it's a great,
Looks
good move.
great, though.
It looks great. Let him cook. I loved everything that I saw. I don't think we really need to talk about that. I think all of us
Do
here.
you think it got delayed because it's coming to PS5 day
The
one?
trophy room told me that last night that it's. coming
I
to
said
PlayStation.
that in the chat. Yes. Do I think that's the reason? No. I think they just need more time. Do I think
many
it's gonna
games.
launch day one? Yeah, too many games. They already have
Grand
a
Theft
great
Auto.
lineup this year. If Grand Theft Auto hits in the fall,
coming to
it's over. It's over anyway. Fable
E-Day's
will
coming in the
launch.
fall.
Fable will launch next year early, along with E-Day, hopefully, all coming to PS5. So, yes. Todd, you're a big indie ID at Xbox kind of guy. Is there anything out here that stood out to you? Yes, you did mention Balatro is out on Game Pass now, is available on everything, right, Bacon? Really quick,
Yeah.
on Cloud Console PC, I believe.
Except you have to have a controller to play it on your phone. Weirdly.
Whatever. Go ahead,
So-
Todd. What stood out to you?
So it wasn't the actual indie game that showed up. It was the game. Can't remember the name. It was called Jump Ship, I believe.
You sent us that.
4-player co-op. That game looks so much fun. I think there should be more co-op games against PvE. Helldivers 2 was the start. We need more of them, like Destiny, those games. I want more of those. I don't want to play against real people. Real people are annoying. They cheat. They do all these bad things. I want to play against bosses and, coalesce around a boss and just have a fun time. Maybe blow someone up in the process. We laugh. We have a good time. So I like that game. It's just great.
Jump Ship is developed by Hazelight and ex Hazelight and Mojang Studio alumni. This 1 to 4 player FPS puts you in charge of a spaceship and takes you on foot combat sections, seamlessly transitioning between the two. This trailer gave us a taste of how you'll have to work together to survive, not to mention its tongue-in-cheek approach to bombastic action, and it'll be available in early access through Game Pass Preview this summer. Shout out to Ains in the chat. Ains said, I was going to tune in, but Mr. Bad Bet is here. So thanks for stopping by, Ains. Appreciate it.
You had the link, you old son of a bitch. What, you don't know how to use it, or your eyes don't work, you can't see it?
The potty moth turned him off. Joe, sorry.
Eric.
I'm sorry, right? Family show.
Oh, it's okay. Eric, what's one game that stood out to you from this list? Liza P?
Liza P DLC looks cool. That game is really good. It's probably one of the better Souls-like, maybe the best Souls-like that's not from
Definitely
Stop.
is. We'll talk about that in a second.
I really like Buckshot Roulette on PC, so it's cool to see that coming to console. And I don't know if I just viewed the trailer wrong, but it looked like they're adding like multiplayer. I only played it single player. I'm a big fan of social deduction games, so playing that multiplayer would be pretty cool. But yeah, at 33 Immortals, I'll shout out to that. I may or may not have played that already, and may or may not think that it's pretty cool.
All right, coming March 18th, 33 Immortals. Matt MKen10, did you see anything that stood out to you from the ID at Xbox showcase?
I've been eyeing the blueprints.
Okay. Yes. Tell me about it.
That looks really cool. It's like, did you guys play like what was that? Subliminal. Was that
Superliminal or whatever?
Yeah, Superliminal or whatever like that. It's yeah, like the game, like you have to choose a path, and like it's like a maze through this house that you have to find like the 46th room of a house that only has 45 rooms. So it's like really like
it kind of looks
really
like Gone Home a little bit.
Yeah.
A little spooky.
I don't know if it's like isn't Gone Home more like a walk?
It is, but this isn't.
It's a walking simulator, yeah.
I mean, this like you choose your paths and stuff like that, and explore different places, and like I guess like the house and stuff changes around. It kind of had like a, I don't want to say horror, but scary vibe to it. So that looked cool. I saw that was. I see that's coming to Game Pass as well. I think it's also coming to PS Plus for all you Sony fanboys. Is that what you guys call them?
Eric,
ponies.
Oh, whatever. Look at that. I already screwed it up. So
did.
But I've had my eyes set on that, and there was a couple of other cool things.
Nice.
Like
Bacon or Chance, do you have anything that stood out to you, or are we?
33 Immortals for me. Still, again, some more. And I am currently playing Balatro again just to get Xbox achievements because I'm weird like that. Liza P is too hard, and Jump Ship did look pretty good. So those are my standouts. I love that all these games, most of them are coming to Game Pass. So
Bacon, how far did you get in Liza P?
Like 18 minutes. It's too
Damn,
hard, bro.
even I got further.
I just feel like it's something with this society. We lack the patience and commitment. You know?
It's TikTok, Joe.
Are you telling me the guy who
Bacon
just
beat
slogged
Elden
through,
Ring, Joe?
and I slogged through God of War? Don't tell me I don't have patience.
He got you
you
there.
slogged through it. Yeah, my great grandpa, he stormed the beaches of Normandy. He didn't back
grandpa
away
did
because
do that.
it's chilly. I didn't bring my coat, you guys. They see us on the beach. This is gonna be dumb. No, they ran forward. They did the thing, dude.
I played that Call of Duty as well.
I can't. I can't parry right. What do you mean you can't parry? You can't.
The parrying,
dodge?
the
Liza P
parrying
is
sucks
hard.
in Liza P.
Yes.
The parrying
Nah,
is
the
not
parrying
good
is
in that
great.
I liked it.
No, it's
It
not
sucks
good. It's not
in
good.
Stellar Blade. It's not stellar. No.
Todd,
Liza P is not.
Todd, are you muted?
Todd is muted. Todd is muted.
You're either muted or
I was-
yelling at a child.
No, I have neither. I would say if there's one trailer you check out check out Hotel Barcelona. It is the craziest game you've ever seen. It's got Suda51 and Swery teaming up. It's got some action combat, but the backgrounds, it looks like encryption plus a lot of acid. It's crazy.
Oh damn!
I'll check that one out.
Oh, okay. So this is Suda's next game.
Yeah.
Hotel Barcelona.
Do we want to talk about Warner Brothers closing down studios?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Eric,
do it.
I mean, shout out to Luke, right?
All right,
He's
Eric,
in it.
First off,
all right.
what game looked great? You want to know what I thought? Looked
Oh,
good.
go ahead. I didn't know if you.
They're all
if you
coming to
watched it.
Sony, so
Yeah,
Hotel
go ahead.
Barcelona. And then, what was the other one? One sec. There was some good stuff here. Guys. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
And why can't I? Ratatan. This is the studio that made Patapon.
Okay.
Because Sony, says they can't make $1 billion off this IP, so they abandoned it and shut down PlayStation Studio, Japan Studio.
Studio.
Ratatan. Let's play the shit out of this game. Patapon's great. This game's great.
Oh, what Patapon was that? Was that a Vita game? Is that what I'm thinking?
Well,
of
it was like
correctly?
PlayStation
First?
1, and then like PlayStation Portable, and then like PlayStation Vita.
Okay.
And then it was
It's been
ported to
around.
PS4 and PS5.
Okay. Yeah, let's move on to quickly. We'll do news story number 3. Eric, take it away. I saw you getting a little emotional over some of the Warner Brothers shutting down studios. Talk to me, Eric. Talk to me.
Emotional. Am I reporting the actual news that happened? They shut down 3
go
studios.
ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I believe it was the Mordor team, Monolith, a support studio. I think it's Warner Brothers San Diego. Player First.
And Wonder Woman dead.
Yeah. So Warner Brothers. Well, it's actually I think the parent company is Discovery, Warner Discovery. I can't remember what it is. That whole company has kind of been going through it the last like 5-ish years. It feels like there's been mergers and people in high positions changing jobs, leadership changes, and things like that. The thing that sucks about video games is one, they're really expensive to make, and they're expensive to make like the entire time that they're being made. A lot of times with movies and cancellations and things like that, people money doesn't start getting really spent until the project like really kicks off, and so when big changes happen in the companies, video games are usually like going to get messed up the most because they're going to get cut like right in the middle of development. And like when things change, video games are these huge boats that are really hard to move, and that's what it feels like they were the victims of. One thing that I think could end up being kind of funny though is in a weird way is, according to Jason Schreier, after
shout out to Luke Laura in the interview with Jason Schreier earlier today.
Shout out to Luke Laura.
Good shout out.
Where is Luke, by the way? He's asleep. Yeah, sorry. He's been asleep for a couple hours.
Eric is 4 hours ahead of us, and he is here. Just want to point that out.
He's a gamer.
Hear that, Ains?
Yeah. What was I saying? Yeah. So the people after they made Shadow of War, they actually started building like an original IP. I think it was called Legacy, and WB. That's like right around the same time when like they merged with Discovery and all kinds of crazy stuff happened, and they killed the original IP, and that forced, or didn't force, but it obviously upset a lot of the core people that have been making banger after banger after banger at Monolith, and they all left, and now they're working on, ironically, the Black Panther game, a Marvel IP. And if that game comes out and is as good or matches the pedigree that these people have had, which I have no doubt it will be because they've literally never made a bad game, it would be a pretty funny outcome that out of the disaster that DC is with video games spawns a great Marvel game. That's just like,
oh, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
Chance, do you have any reaction to this? I feel like you're actually probably the biggest fan of these games.
Because I put this one on here, and it's so scary to me. This is the stuff that scares me more than that Matt Piscatella interview. So one of the things that they have written in this article is the exec wrote that recent releases not doing as well as WB Games had hoped has led the company to decide to refocus on fewer but bigger franchises going forward. And I'm like, I appreciate the second part of that sentence, but Harry Potter did great. I don't understand why they're thinking it didn't. What didn't do great was Suicide Squad. And haven't they already come out and said, well, we just need another game just like Suicide Squad? And I'm just terrified that like they don't listen. They're not actually looking at what the market is telling them matters. Harry Potter is safe, exactly. And it's a single player, not free to play, one-time purchase, right? Like I just hope that they can not listen to some of the Matt Piscatella stuff and apparently their own people and be able to make good single player games that
I also think they're looking at that Quidditch game that came out last year.
Oh,
because
yeah.
they're
Mortal Kombat didn't do as well as previous.
So Harry Potter is safe because they're going to pour all of this into the next Hogwarts Legacy. That Quidditch game that came out last year, as well as Suicide Squad, all that crap bombed, sadly. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to take those resources and dump it into the few resources that they know work well.
And I'm totally supportive of that. I don't think they need to have 50 different things, but I was personally very sad to see Wonder Woman, that one go away. I
love Monolith. The Shadow of Mordor games were dope.
Were
amazing.
It sucks. It's like, okay,
but
what's next?
I'm
just
not
waiting for BioWare.
I don't like people losing jobs and closing studios, especially closing studios that have made great games. But like, isn't this a good thing though? Like in the end, they're scaling
How?
back, going to make fewer games, and they're going to make sure
Hopefully.
they're yeah.
Absolutely,
Like I don't
hopefully.
disagree with
But
all of the doom or I guess
Is it a
Until I
live
see-
service game
Exactly,
that's supposed to
until I
live for 10
see-
years?
What
Until I
is?
It
see
fails.
what it is.
Suicide
He's
Squad.
asking. He's like, is it going to be that? Until I see what it is,
Yeah.
it's hard to take just this news without, oh, and here's what we're doing instead. They just said we're going to do something big, not exactly what it is. I can't be excited about any of this until, is it going to be Batman? Is it going to be Injustice 3?
do you got-
I have been dying for Injustice 3 for what, a decade now?
You saw
And-
that Reeves like sat down with not Reeves, Gunn, right? Sat down with some of those studios because he wants to
Really?
do like
Yeah.
these parallel
Really?
experiences. And
Oh, I don't care.
I don't know what kind of
That
dumpster
sounds like
fire that's
Kojima.
gonna be.
Rocksteady is
well-
making Batman though. That has
Yeah.
been reported. So,
So-
they are doubling in
Go
on
ahead, Joe.
single
Go ahead,
player
Joe.
games.
Yeah, I tried to. Luke should have used my question for the show because it was a very good one, and it was one I asked out loud during the trophy. But Luke didn't want to. He's like, "Oh man, oh geez, I don't think I did good." And I was trying to reassure him, be a good friend. I go, "No, you did great." No, actually,
with
now
are you
that I
talking
think
about
about
with
it,
Schreier?
with Schreier, because my question is, okay, so it seems like there's like a Lucas Arts situation here, which like if you read Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, the last chapter in the book is about LucasArts and how ever since the mid 2000s, there's just constant friction at that, what then was a studio, then resurrected, of just constant executives and creatives leaving, butting heads, departing. And what ended up happening with 1313 was just the project constantly was changing by George Lucas, because George Lucas is used to making a change on paper on a movie or a show or whatever have you, and the pivot is easier to make. As for a game, if you just add in Boba Fett, well, all of a sudden the entire thing has to change, right?
Right.
Then now you're thinking about jetpacks and whatever the hell, like the missile jetpack thing, and like levels change, everything changes. So my question was, and I still pose this, is us, okay, after we understand that game, it was rocky until the bitter end, but did Gunn's direction ultimately go, okay, all these three studios got to go, we're going with this one unified vision of, hey, we're going to make the DCU games, TV, and movies, and this is not the way we want to introduce Wonder Woman, and so let's just kind of scrap this because we're already having trouble with it and just move on to something else. My fear with this is this, guys, I'm gonna be like very truthful. I don't know how much gas the WB car has. It just seems like we're, especially the games portion of it. It just seems like we're hitting bottom with what we got here. In terms of like what this industry is going through right now with, everybody quote unquote, competing against Fortnite, I think the trend, because this industry is one where all these companies, all these publishers follow these trends, that now we've gotten where games are so expensive that they're just outright failing. Like studios and publishers are outright just going out of business because of one bad game, and you're seeing that right now with.
But why do they have to
Ubisoft,
be so
and you're
expensive?
seeing it with WB, because they're always trying to chase the number on the spreadsheet that must go up all the time, and
How expensive was Balatro?
well, that's the thing.
That's an anomaly.
Yeah, that's a
Sure.
one-off.
Balatro's, at Indie Studio. He actually wanted to
But
teach
the
people
point
how to
still
play
stands.
top
All
poker,
these
right?
games don't need to be that expensive. I agree, Chance. Why do these games have to be so massive and expensive?
Because you want to play them at 4K 60 on your GPU.
No, I don't.
No, but and it
I just
doesn't
want
have
60.
to be. And think about, so Joe, I don't know if you knew, but I am replaying all the Assassin's Creed games, and the first one took me 6.5 hours to
It
beat.
used to be great.
Incredible experience. Why couldn't
And then
they?
they added DEI. Everybody hates DEI.
Why couldn't the next Assassin's
Why
Creed
couldn't
be
we have a Japanese samurai?
a 12-hour experience?
Tom Cruise, Assassin's Creed.
Yes, bring
That's
back
what
Tom
we
Cruise
need.
and the Last Samurai.
Would it? Is it?
Now we're
and
talking.
maybe if someone help me out here,
Yeah.
isn't it more expensive to make a 60-hour game than a 12-hour game? Or
Unless,
am I wrong?
unless you're Hellblade 2.
I was gonna say how much it
Okay.
helped.
Fair. Okay.
It's so weird because the audiences are like so like it's such a complicated issue because it's like the audiences demand so much more. You see, like all the time, like okay, Ragnarok's
Do
a
they
great
really
example.
demand?
Yeah, like Ragnarok's a great example. It's like it's just more of this game, or like Spider-Man 2. Oh,
more
it's just more
shitty
of
of that game.
this game. All right, relax.
So wait, I got a question. Why did we not get that 60-hour Barbie game after we got the Barbie movie, Joe? That's what I want to know.
There's so because okay,
Don't ask
again.
Joe.
There's so many things. Like there's more people making games than ever. There's more games on the market than ever. There's so much, let's be honest, like garbage, right? Shovelware on the stores than ever. It's harder to get discovered than ever because you have so much competition. On top of that, like a game like Balatro can sell 3 million units, be successful, because that's just one guy making it in his spare time versus whatever
A lot of spare
Ubisoft
time,
was
too.
doing with Outlaws, where it's like, yeah, we're paying all these people salary. I think actually Jason said it really, really well in that interview where it's like games have gotten so expensive. They're all $200-300 million plus games that they have to check all these boxes to make sure that everybody is into that thing. There's a little something for everybody. And by doing that, it kind of waters down the experience. I'm sorry, Eric, you raised
No.
your hand.
I'm going to go. Before I throw it to Eric, I'm the teacher here. I agree with Captain Logan. Captain Logan said it best here. He said, the audience is playing 10-year-old games, and we're blaming graphics for why games are so expensive. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, so there are games that are super expensive. There are games like that cost $200-300 million, but there's also a lot of games that are AAA quality that don't. Games like Wukong, games like Stellar Blade, games that like that are not that expensive because they're
How do you
being
know
made in
Wukong
different-
wasn't expensive? Oh, China. Okay.
They released there's games that are being made in places in Europe. There's like even something like Cyberpunk wasn't even close to being as expensive as something like Spider-Man or because
Do we even know how much Elden Ring cost?
it was way cheaper than a lot of those Sony games that are, or a lot of games that are
Praise
made
from
in
soft
California.
praise be
Salaries are higher and things like that. If you look at Monolith, I would argue the reason why they were closed is because they haven't released a game
I was
in
going to
8
say,
years.
when was the last time?
And they've been paying the salaries for 8 years. The game has been rebooted multiple times, and the core team that like did all the heavy lifting for all of the success that studio has left. It's similar to what happened with Redfall. Like Redfall didn't do well sales wise. It was obviously a loss, but the main reason why that studio closed is because all of the talent, or the people that, if they wanted to revert and go back to those immersive sims, those people that made those games are gone. So it's even more risky to keep investing money in here. You rebooted the game twice already. Multiverses was a game or a studio that was entirely built to make this one game that failed. Yeah. So like, what did they do next? Like
failed twice.
Yeah.
Well, and you have that on the triple A side, right? And then if you're like, well, it must be easier if you're an indie dev. Like I was talking to Kyle, who's works in PR marketing, and he's like, it's so frustrating with this Steam sale that's going, or Steam Next Fest that's going on. It's like we have like all these porn bots that just flood the Steam Next Fest that we're competing with, and dude, they are thirsty. Let me tell you.
I gotta send you a link.
Send me a link.
PS Trophy Room.
I got one for you guys. Hold on.
We watched some things, man. We were scarred, but nonetheless, it's like you're going up against just a mountain of shit and awful discoverability if you're an indie dev.
Yes,
and then you have what
porn
Eric
bots.
is describing there, which is like, yeah, we're developing games in some of the most affluent areas in the world. Like you're talking about, like like what, Seattle. You're talking about Silicon Valley.
San
Like those
Francisco.
places are so expensive. So I don't know. Again, it's a.
So you're saying child labor is what we need to go after, Joe?
Yeah, little
Okay, there you go.
hands. They're gonna get into all the gadgets, gizmos.
Small hands.
Todd, what were you going to say?
They're
go
gonna,
ahead,
they're gonna
Todd.
be my chat
So-
support.
I want to bring this back to the studio that was closed, Monolith.
Sorry, yes.
So I'm a little bit older than most of you, so I just want to talk to you a little bit about
little
the
bit,
past. A little bit, just very quick, very quick, about what we lost with Monolith. Yes, and I think Eric is showing why. I will just say, since 2000 through 2017, they made 14 games. That's the way studios used to produce.
That's a lot.
They used to be fast, efficient, made games that were delivering great experiences within a budget on time.
Yes.
That is probably one of the biggest things. But I want to say what we left with Monolith was No One Lives Forever. Eric showed the copy. That was a groundbreaking first-person shooter, comedy spy game. Fantastic. Really awesome.
Never heard of
They
it.
made Alien vs. Predator 2. They made a sequel to that game. They made a Tron game. They were contributing to Matrix Online. They made Fear, an amazing series that I wish would come back. They made Fear 2. Condemned 2.
They made Condemned?
Condemned,
Yes, they did. Gotham City Imposters. What the hell? They should have learned at that point, don't make a live service game. They made Guardians of Middle Earth, a MOBA, back on the PlayStation 3. Then they finally settled into Middle Earth, Shadow War. Those games were 3 years apart.
Wow.
I mean, this is the problem. Studios are taking way too long. They have too many people on their staff, and they are trying to be the next big thing. And essentially, they cannot sell enough games to make their money back.
It's
They're
not
the
even they're
solution.
trying to be the next thing.
Yeah.
They're competing with just so much time.
Exactly.
Like, you're
When
like-
7 out of 10 players are playing live service games for almost 50% of their time, how are new players going to go
Even
play
get
these
that
new games?
get that even out of the equation. It's still difficult when you have games that cost $30-$40 that could take so much of your time. You don't have to go out there and spend $60-$70 on a game anymore to get a really good experience. So like there again, like the issue is incredibly complex, and it comes from different angles. It
Yes.
comes from size, scope. It comes from them trying to check as many boxes as they can and diluting the experience to like where they're making the game. And
Thank
who's
God
making it.
we've got Elon coming in. He said he's going to create a studio and make games great again. Elon is all about efficiency.
Chainsaw.
Department
Praise
of
be
Games
to
Efficiency,
Deutsch.
Doge.
Yeah.
And the Department of Government Efficiencies. Next up, the Department of Gaming Efficiency. I cannot wait, guys. Let's move on.
My
Enough of the
favorite
news.
video game character is Luigi.
Okay. So what have we been playing and or watching, Matt? What have you been playing, brother?
Oh my gosh, a lot. I just finished tape 1 of Lost Records. I just rolled credits on Gree. Do we say Gree? Greece? Gree?
It's
Gree.
Gree. I am currently playing Avowed.
Yeah, we talked about that earlier, so we're good there.
And what am I watching? Just Southern Charm, catching up on Bravo, Dan, you know?
Yes. Yes.
Him, Ken.
Yes, Southern Charm. Summer House is back, Matt.
Chance,
Summer House is back.
I know. I'm not a fan of some of these new people on Summer House. But Chance,
Courage,
it's not
Daniel.
me.
Yes,
It's not
Matt.
me.
Matt, we
not-
need to start we
fair.
need to start the Real Husbands Who Watch the Real Housewives podcast. Matt, I'm going to talk to you off stream about this. My wife has been telling me that's how we're going to make money.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I
Todd.
can close my eyes and I know them by voice.
There you go, Todd. What have you been playing, brother?
So I'm actually going to take a segue. I am not playing a game. We're playing a game for episode 200 of this podcast. I looked at Game Informer issue 200, and I want you guys to guess what Game Informer scored the games that launched in their 200th issue. So we're going to start
exciting.
Okay, let's hear it.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. This was 2009, by the way. What
9.
did they rate the original Call of Duty Modern
Can-
Warfare 2?
What's the scale?
Yeah, what's the scale? Give me a scale.
Is it
It's
digits only?
they do the whole like quarter points too.
I'm gonna go 9.25.
Yeah, I was gonna say 9.5. Oh,
8.5.
9.
I'll stick with 9.
Bacon.
8.5.
Matt.
8.75.
Todd, what was it?
9.75.
No, I was closest, baby. Woo!
Yeah, that's Price is Right rules.
I
Whoever's
knew it.
closest. Okay, game number 2. Borderlands 1.
8.5.
I agree with Eric. 8.5.
8.7.
I'm saying I'm gonna say 9.
9. I'm almost thinking it was a 9. Jose?
I said 8.
Okay, Todd.
9.25.
Oh!
It was Bacon, right? 9?
I said 9.
Yeah.
No, I said
Matt.
8.7. So
No, Matt
Check
said
this
9.
out.
So I said 9.
Left 4 Dead 2 also came out this month.
9.75.
Ooh. I'm
Left 4 Dead
flat,
2.
Flat 9.
9.5.
I'm gonna go flat 9.
Matt, did you?
9.5.
Jesus.
Wow.
This is the era where Matt is.
This was all in this is all in
Wait,
one.
I'm not done.
Oh my
Next game. DJ Hero.
So this is 2008. Is that right?
This is 2009.
Okay.
Game Informer issue number 200.
Dang.
DJ Hero.
DJ
2,
Hero.
he said.
No,
Or
just
DJ Hero.
The first DJ Hero.
8.
I'm gonna go
7.5.
8.25.
7.25.
7.8.
9.0.
No way.
Jeez.
So when you go, oh,
This was on
that tells me their
PS3,
scale,
360, Wii, and PS2. That game was everywhere. Next game. Grand Theft Auto 4, The Ballad of Gay
10.
Tony, an Xbox 360
10.
exclusive.
10.
Actually, I
10.
Did that not
10 as
come
well.
to PS3?
9.
Eventually, I believe it did.
It did. I played it on PlayStation. I'm gonna say 9.
the Xbox
No, 8. You know what?
money
8.5.
grabbed it.
8.5.
They money grabbed
Flat
it.
9.
There was a tattoo involved, I believe, by Peter Moore.
They money grabbed it. Yeah.
9.
That's the god you guys worship. Xbox. It just money grabs.
Oh man, I
any
wish
big
Peter
info
Moore would
thing.
come back.
Yeah.
He was a great
It
exec.
is.
9.25. Here we go. Here's a game you probably don't even remember. Operation Flashpoint, Dragon Rising.
I played that
I
on
remember
360
that.
through Back and
7.
Pack.
7.5.
7.75.
8.
This is all in one issue?
It is. There's more too, and you're gonna love these. Tell me when to stop. I
go
will
ahead.
keep going if you don't. 7.
Okay. Yeah.
Coming back. Dragon Age Origins.
This is all.
Best-
Oh my god.
best in the
Same
series.
Were these?
issue.
Was this monthly, quarterly? When were these
It
released?
was monthly. It was
I'm
monthly.
gonna say it's 10. Say it's a 10.
Dragon
I'm
Age
gonna say
Origins 9.
9.
9.5.
9.5.
Ooh,
Go ahead,
9.5
Todd. What is it?
I'm gonna say 10.
It was an 8.
What the fuck is wrong?
Call
with
of
that?
Duty
Sorry.
9.75.
Obviously,
DJ probably sold 10 million
Activision-
copies.
Activision just bought IG off because
What?
Yeah.
Next one, Todd.
Next
EA
game.
Great.
Tekken 6. Tekken 6.
8.75.
8.5.
9.
8.
8.75.
Go ahead, Todd.
8.75. Some good picks.
Yeah.
This is where you can tell the era. Lego Rock Band.
What? I didn't even know that existed.
I didn't even know that
Oh, it was a game.
7.
Lego.
9.75.
6.5.
10.
Go ahead, Todd.
8.
Really?
Okay.
Is there any more bangers?
Let's see. Actually, there is. There's 2 more bangers. I will
let's hear
put
it.
these
2
in.
more.
There's actually
I'm
more,
tired.
but
I'm
I
tired.
will. The last 2 games. Demon's Souls, the original game on
Oh
PS3.
my god, dude.
Raise your hand
This
if
is
you played it.
crazy.
That's a
What's
good
it?
Ooh, this was high.
9.75.
Yeah, 9.5.
Yeah,
What's
that
it?
was
10?
2.
9. Even
What
9.
is it? What is it, Todd?
Bless Demon's Souls.
Or
9.
Oh yeah. See, they were like new. They were like not sure. I could see it.
Yep.
I could see it.
Yep.
I
Last
remember
game-
trying to explain that
Oh,
game
good.
to people when I was because I bought it day one.
Really?
Yes, and just
Dude.
trying to explain what it was is just everyone would just like I'd lose everybody. I'd be like, just stop talking.
Yeah.
What the fuck is a world tendency?
Jose.
God, that ruined
Why
it.
are they writing notes and why are they so
yeah.
mean? What are they doing? Last game.
one.
Ratchet and Clank, A Crack in
Oh,
Time.
10.
No, who cares?
I'll give it a 10.
8-5.
Nine and
Yeah.
a quarter.
What's with the
You're right.
Ratchet and
It's got to be a
Clank slander?
975 Sony IP. Go ahead.
925.
Let's hear it.
It wasn't like that back then, though.
9
It wasn't like that. Yeah, that wasn't like that, huh, Eric? Yeah.
Crack in Time's
God
great.
bless
Let's
you.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, Ratchet and
So
Clank's great.
many
What's with
big
the slander on
games in
Ratchet and
one
Clank?
month.
I
Can
don't know.
you
I've
even
never played
imagine that?
Yeah. Danny Diwali, I hate it.
Well, you already
Thanks for
discussed it
playing,
on this with.
That was
Thank
fun,
you, Todd.
Todd.
That was fun. That was fun. Speaking of, you were on co-op mode with Todd, and remember I wrote in and I told you I had never played a Ratchet and
All
Clank
right,
game,
make me
and I
sick.
said Insomniac would have been up there for me over God of War, which was just a game. Speaking of just a game, Joe, what I know you've been playing Lies of P. I hear you're loving it. I heard you talk about it last night.
Nice.
Joe, I'm glad you finally see how amazing Lies of P is, and you can understand why it's
Never
my favorite. It's absolutely is, Eric, the best Souls game not made by From Software, and it's
100%.
incredible. So, like you mentioned a lot of it last night, Joe. I don't want you to rehash it, but I agree with you on being able to change the handles with the different weapon type. Very cool. I like when you die at a boss, the souls are just waiting for you. You don't have to worry about getting. There's a lot of quality of life stuff in Lies of P that I think From Software could take from their games.
Listen, I'll never get a Bloodborne 2, but I'll like to pretend that this one is.
There you go.
It's like,
Don't say that, Joe.
It's never gonna happen, guys. This is never. They could make Elden Ring 2. We all know it. I'll be hyped.
As they should.
As they should. Yeah.
Anything else though you've been playing?
I mean, listen. Let's talk about Marvel Rivals here for.
Oh, cool.
Free to
Great
play.
game and everything, but man, they gotta nerf Punisher, dude. Punisher is just such a noob main. Like he just doesn't make any his ultimate,
Nerf
which
the
is
healers,
just,
man. The healers are what
they already got. They got a good nerf. They got a good nerf.
Jose,
Cloak
can
and Dagger
you
needs
mute
a little
these
bit more
guys?
tuning, but like, yeah, like I think they're getting in a good place, but like. Punisher needs to kick rocks, man. He sucks. And if you main Punisher, it's like maining, Soldier 76. Okay,
That's my main.
it's exactly. It's the missionary position of characters. Boring.
Wait, is that a bad? I don't understand. Is that a bad thing or
Yeah.
great
Missionary
thing?
position's been there a long time.
It's a lot of work. Moving on, Bacon. What have you been playing? I feel like you're
to just lie there.
I feel like you're falling asleep with Bacon. Come on, talk to us. What have you been
All right,
playing?
so
Oh no, wait, no, I don't.
I finished God of War Ragnarok. I'd given up on the platinum. I rolled credits. I couldn't find this damn last Raven, and
Luke will be so
everything
happy.
else was lost if I couldn't find this Raven. I spent like 10 hours going back to every location of every Raven in this game, and the last Raven was at the Forge, and it was not. You couldn't hover over the Forge to get it to show your check marks. And so I just followed every step and found that piece of crap, killed him, and then I platinumed the game.
There you go, Bacon.
Oh my
wasn't
God!
gonna do
Was
it.
Miss Bacon happy?
I wasn't going to do it until Joe shared his trophy count with me. And I said, all right, I can't let this happen. So I went back and finished it. Happy I did. I'm landing at an 82, 83 for it. 2018 was better. It just was a fantastic game. So glad I finished it. Glad I got that platinum. And I have 4 platinums. So suck it, Tim Dog. And then I've been playing Avowed. I'm about 4 hours in.
Have you ever listened to someone and you go, I have a pretty good idea what their IQ is?
Yeah.
It's Tim Dog.
And so I am
Like,
about
we're in
4
smooth brain territory. Of
4 or so hours into Avowed. I'm really enjoying it. A little heavy on the dialogue for my taste. When you
Is
follow
it?
and you hit an
Yes,
answer, and then
Dan.
they go into a whole nother tree of conversation. Like, damn it, I should hit
I just
no.
asked what you wanted on your pizza.
Right. So, but other than that, I'm liking the platforming. I'm liking the combat. I got a book and a wand in one hand, and then I got a sword and a board with my other build. And I like how you can switch in the middle of combat
Yes,
and completely
yes,
change your
that's
playstyle. So I think the game's gorgeous. I jumped off a
Yes.
huge cliff in the water and then found a chest in the water, and I just wanted to see if I'd lived from the jump.
Yep.
So really enjoying it, and then also playing some Balatro.
Yeah.
Hey, can I say something nice about Ragnarok?
What's that? Go ahead, buddy.
Ugh.
This is where I get very mushy and emotional. This comes from
Shut the
memory.
up, Gary.
No, Ragnarok, because I got a lot of shit. They're like, "Oh, Joe, how could this be your favorite sequel of all time?" It really is. It's one of my favorite sequels of all time.
One of you changed.
You said it was
changed it.
the
You guys-
best.
I still put it as the best. Sorry.
But one of the
Concur.
All right, what's
Concur.
the good thing? Let's get it over with.
Okay, so first off, it's my goddamn opinion. Relax. It's not like Mass Effect 2 doesn't exist. Settle down. No, so God of War means a lot to me. God of War 2018 was very much me like analyzing the relationship with my father. Ragnarok was very much me coming to terms with the relationship I had with my mother. Okay. And so Thor's arc, this is what I was trying to explain in our group chat.
Okay,
Thor's arc
Todd.
reminds me of my mom
right.
and her alcoholism. And his daughter, I'm blanking on her name.
Thrud.
Thrud, thank you. Thrud's my brother. And why I didn't see a lot of it was because of Thrud. And so it made me analyze how incredibly brave my brother was and how he was probably internalizing what was going on around him because he was my older brother, right? So there's like the one scene in particular where like Thor is like pissed drunk on the floor just wobbling around, and like Thrud's like trying to make some type of excuse for Atreus. I forget entirely what it is, but like, you know, she kind of just like she just kind of like teleports away with them, and I was just like, oh shit, that was like me and my brother. Like that was my brother just trying to explain something that he knows is messed up to me, who's just an outsider, had no idea. Also, the dwarves reminded me of me and my brother to a T, and what I would do for my brother, and what I would be without him. So the line, "That's what happens next," is like that. Ooh, it resonates with me on multiple levels. So.
Well, damn, Joe. I appreciate you sharing.
Yeah,
that.
thanks
I
for
feel
sharing
like
that,
a
Joe. I
huge piece of
understand.
shit
Yeah.
now.
I still think the game sucks.
No,
Can I add on to that? Can I add on to that? Joe,
Quickly,
'cause I
Todd,
agree.
quickly. I want to wrap this up.
Right.
So my son, at the time when I played God of War,
you were
he
drinking
was 12 years old, and then when I played God of War Ragnarok, he was playing it as well. So he was more of an adolescent. So if you're a father with a child of that age, you will recognize so many things. So as you get your children older, you will recognize that if you have children, because you just realize that's the journey of fathers and children, especially when you deal with loss and all of those things and being an imperfect dad. It is a great representation of that. So that's my 2 cents, and I really appreciate it.
Okay.
So
Chance, have you
Bacon,
gone?
Sorry.
get a child.
No,
Argue with them for like a half hour.
Most of my anger when it comes to Sony games
He's my
is for the
dad.
platinum chase, and if you're not chasing the platinum, the games are way
I'm
better.
not.
You know what's funny though,
It
Bacon,
is.
is I
Shit,
feel like
that's every game.
PlayStation does a better job than
It's way
Xbox.
better.
Well, they're remasters, like the Last of Us remaster. They finally fixed that horrible trophy list. Good God, that was terrible. Last of Us Part 2 was very manageable. The only thing I don't like about Sony's platinum list is that they usually have you do a new game plus, which I think is stupid, especially like Spider-Man. It's like
Spider-Man's
everything should be able to be done in one
I got
playthrough.
Spider-Man in one playthrough.
Not Miles.
Miles,
Not
yeah,
Miles.
Miles and
I
probably
didn't
Spider-Man
finish
2.
Miles. I don't like Miles.
Bubble Boy, Jose, have you gone yet? Hey,
Jesus
what have you been playing?
Just finished
Bacon just
Brotherhood.
sucks.
I just have the 2 DLCs to play, and I'll start Revelations, Love and Avowed. I'm not caught up on Paradise. Hopefully, do that tonight. Very excited to get caught up on that.
I
Jose?
need to start that.
Mostly
Yeah, you
about,
do.
I'm in the second area. And again, like I said, I'm just basically, I the way I like to play, which is probably absurd for a lot of people, is I literally clear the map. I do all the fog of war and explore, and then I go do all the missions because you can just beam
That's a good way
everywhere.
for it.
It helps me understand the story better too, because even though I'm a fan of literature and reading, this like the medieval names and stuff just like does not stick.
There's a
in my
lot
head.
of lore
and
in
so
it, for sure.
doing that like sequentially like that helps me understand the story. Having a great time, dude. Like I'll be honest, when I started hearing final reviewers saying like, oh, it took me 60, 70, 80 hours to finish, I kind of actually got a little scared because I just don't feel like I have the time to commit to 80 to 100 hour games anymore. Like I actually really like the 20 to 30 hour window is my favorite. But I'm having a great time, dude. Like every time I think I'm getting a little bored, something new happens. I'm a wizard build, like pure. Like I'm a grimoire and wand most of the time. My other loadout is that ice axe and a shield actually, which is pretty dope. Other than that, definitely gonna take a pause from Avowed here. I think it's this weekend to jump into COD for the Ninja Turtles event.
Tonight, right now, right?
Guys, we're gonna jump in right after this. I gotta say, Jose, speaking of, dude, these turtles. I hate to say it, they got my ass, dude.
What?
Luke is right. Luke was right.
Play when you can charge 70 and pay for
IP
suits.
matters, and they did a fantastic job with these stupid turtles. They all look cool. They all have like, even when you select them, they've got great personality, like little introductions that fit their characters so well. I don't know if you've watched every single one, like scrolling between them. They're just so well done. Splinter looks amazing. I guys, they got me. I'm thinking about getting all 4.
Are they shooting nunchucks or something?
Dude,
no, what's
Todd,
cool about it, Todd, is that the game everyone comes with a different set of guns. Like it's when you play the money, which I get.
You get each melee weapon, Todd, and you can switch to it, and you see him. Like I've got Raph holding his sai, and I'm just meleeing the crap out of people. You see the swords, you see the bow staff. You get Splinter's bow staff, Todd.
But also the guns are
so you can see your hands do shit.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes,
stuff.
Guns are other characters. Like my guns, because I bought on Tello, one of them is Bebop and one of them is Rocksteady.
What?
If you look at the guns of them, they're actually other Ninja Turtle characters, which is super cool. Like one of them.
Who
is
needs a
Malcolm,
Turtles game when you can buy?
I'm telling you, Todd, they did a really good job, and they got my ass. I paid $20 for Raph. I paid the extra $10 for the Splinter Battle Pass. They got me. They got me.
Bought the Wolverine from Wolverine Deadpool.
Now you can't afford a new game, Dan.
I would pay for that.
Good thing I have Game Pass, and I'm playing Avowed, and then I'll play South of Midnight and Doom, so it works. Guys, let's close the show like we always do with the best food we had this week. I'm going to go very quickly. Jose, I need you to pull up the ticker because I have a lot to add. I had 2 breakfast burritos just yesterday. The day before that, I need you to add 3 to the QPC and Big Mac count. I had a Big Mac. I sent you guys a picture. I got rid of the bun, the third bun. Get rid of it. I don't know why it's there. I don't think I'm going to get Big Macs anymore. You guys, I'm a QPC guy. I'm a QPC main bacon. You were right. I tried that barbecue one, that the Angel Reese special. It was fine. Just, guys, get the standard. QPC, delete the mustard, add mayo and lettuce, and thank me later. Okay. But the best food I had this week was Allie made these delicious meatballs. And they're fantastic. You know, I love her giant meatballs. I love them.
Jesus Christ.
Matt.
Took me on a journey.
Matt, before I throw over to you, I want to shout out to Nissa Howard. Nissa Howard made chili, and it's great. And B said I should have made food for this episode. We were waiting, B. You were supposed to cook us steaks. And shout out to Nissa as well. Dreamlight Valley has a new update, and Starpath. I just got 3 new games from Steam. Shout out to Nissa. She's loving her ROGLA. She loves that damn Dreamlight Valley, and I'm so happy for her. Matt, what was the best food you had this week?
Shout out to Logan for telling me or reminding me that Amazon Games exists. Because
it's crazy, Matt.
I just downloaded like 40 something game. I don't even know what I was clicking on.
Claim them. It's just like PlayStation Plus. Claim them.
The wife made a homemade mac and cheese. It was so Boar's Head has this like Colby 3-pepper jack cheese. It's pretty goddamn dynamite. So it's like a spicy homemade mac and cheese. She makes it in this beautiful little crock thing, and it's like
Matt send me the recipe right away.
Hey, listen,
I'll
get her right on it.
Send it to me.
I'll get it right on it. But you keep smoothing out this. It's like you kind of like edge it out, like to make it even.
I love
edging.
edging.
You know, it's fucking gone. It's like, this is pretty amazing.
Bacon, what was the best food you had this week? Tell me you have something good.
Well, I would like to add another pizza to the ticker because real
bacon.
pizza is good. Pizza, not crap pizza.
It better not be like
Fat Sully's. Real New York style pizza, big. All right.
New York.
And then I also tried some Dave's Hot Chicken. There's one down here in my neck of the woods. I went medium. I think next time I might go hot. Medium had enough pop to it. And then our family's kind of in a little dried mango kick right now because
I love mango.
It's so good, right? What is that health food store where you can buy them? Natural Grocers. Natural Grocers has great dried mangoes, but they went too fast. So I'll keep you abreast as the dried mangoes go.
Jose, we really should have mentioned the best food we had this week. Was our family
That's what I was-
celebration. Are you gonna bring up? Are you gonna bring up the picture? Show.
No,
do you have
I
a
don't
picture?
have the picture on this computer, but Chance, go ahead. You can tell about it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. It was all you, man. You do
It
it.
was
That's
all
just
you,
it.
bud.
Literally was the best food I had this week. So,
It's been a tradition. It was a tradition for several years, and then we kind of fell off because of
COVID,
different things happening in life, and just weather and stuff. But
COVID.
it was a tradition for a couple of years
COVID.
where we would get together around Valentine's Day,
Jose
not
doesn't
usually
believe
on
it.
Valentine's Day, but me, Dan, and Chance. Before we had bacon, of course, and we would cook for our wives. So the tradition was like kids go downstairs and shut up and be quiet, and wives get to like have drinks and appetizers, and then we would cook in the kitchen. We'd all have dinner together. Really fun thing, because again, if you don't know the show, or if you're new to us, like we all actually live relatively close to each other in Colorado, and so this year we brought it back after a couple year hiatus. We obviously got bacon in the mix with his wife, and so we met on my house on Saturday, and we had breakfast for dinner. And it was delicious. We had cinnamon toast crunch French toast. We also had soy riso and eggs, which everyone was real trepidatious at first, but everyone was kind of like, okay, I see you. This is really good.
It's chorizo, but made from soy, not pork.
Soy riso.
Soy riso from Cacique,
so
which is
much
fantastic. And then we also had like fruit and veggies. We made avocado toast for the appetizer. We made the strawberry mimosas for the ladies. It was a great time, man. Our kids are also a little older now, so they could all literally like safely play downstairs. We really didn't have to worry about them. They had a great time. And it was just a nice evening to get together and see each other. That was an awesome meal this week. The other thing I had, Chipotle, hadn't had it in a while. It was fantastic. No complaints. And also, again, that Via 313 pizza, it's a Detroit style pizza, the dill one again, the dill pickle one, outstanding. Like I cannot tell you how good it was. If it's near you, check it out.
Jose, I just sent you an email with the picture, so pull them up here in a second.
will.
Eric, what was the best food you had this week? Eric's a big food guy.
I think the best food I had this week was a giant cup of tears from the 11th province after Connor McJesus went to Boston and totally destroyed America in the Four Nations face-off with the
All
goal.
right, 51st state, settle down.
Other than that, I had a couple of really good fried chicken sandwiches.
Nice, very nice. Eric.
No Swiss chalet.
No, I don't eat that garbage.
Todd, what was,
Mary Brown's.
Todd, what was the best food you had?
Well, I met up with a good friend, my son, and we went to a local, really awesome brewery. They make awesome Detroit style pizza called Brixworth. I had this awesome pizza. It had prosciutto. It had tomatoes with a balsamic vinaigrette on top of it with the Detroit style. Fabulous. I'm back in the office now. So I'm 3 days a week. I'm at the office.
Oh, no.
And they have where I got my T-shirt with Lucky Charms because St. Patrick's Day is coming up.
I mean, everybody loves Lucky Charms.
yeah,
Absolutely. But the cafeteria is amazing. They have awesome things. And they made an amazing roasted red pepper with Gouda soup. Oh my God. It was so delicious. Those chunks of cheese just floating in there. So good. For $4 for a cup of soup. Love it.
Sounds delicious. Shout out to Deja Vu. Wife and I had mesa tonight. A little chili relleno with street tacos, a margarita. Shout out to Deja Vu. Anybody else in the chat? De Niro, 159 more subs to 500. Diego, I've literally had dreams about eating those 8 junior bacon cheeseburgers. I'm already like thinking about it and strategizing.
I've had nightmares about watching you eat them.
I cannot
Giving me
wait
a heart attack.
to get to that point. Joe, let's close us off with the best food you had this week.
Sure thing. I just wanted to first go off on a little tangent. You said the Angel Reese Big Mac.
Yes.
I typed in Angel Reese Big Mac. I got distracted. Angel Reese, are you single? Because I am ready to mingle. Are you ready to have the worst, most disappointing
I agree.
sex in
Respectfully.
your life? I will cry after and during. So, and before.
She missed that message.
Damn it. Well, I went too long in the voicemail. Anyway, so the best food I ate this week, it was a little shit, guys. I'm sorry. It was not great. But what I think was great, my brother, he bought an air fryer. First off, my brother's the cook in the house. Everything top notch. He's a little, listen, he's got a touch of
Teleporting
the
gnome
tizzle.
that cooks. Jeez.
I know. When he hyperfixates with his neurodivergence, he hyperfixates. So he's like, I'm gonna make pizza, and I'm gonna make it my mission for the next 2.5 months to have pizza every other day. He's made homemade pizza, and it's starting to rival some of the spots we got here.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something. The boy.
That's what we do here, Joe. Homemade
pretty darn
everything.
good.
Homemade pizzas. The best.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm still going to go to Joe's, in Greenwich Village.
Not Little
Ralph's
Caesars?
in Garfield,
Nobody out
No
pizzas
shame
the
on
Little
myself.
Caesars.
They do. Everybody does, actually.
No. Little Caesar's legit.
Pizza Puffs.
Deja Vu said it's a quarter pounder, not a Big Mac. Didn't I say quarter pounder? Whatever. Jose's pulling up the picture. There's the nerd chat right there.
Chance is my size.
Yeah.
Oh, Todd.
Yes.
To be fair, Jose and I are giants. Okay,
It's true. We're big people.
They really are.
I'm
How
average
tall are you
and
guys?
then Chance.
So are my friends too.
Jose, you're 6'2", right?
I'm
6'3". Yeah,
5'4".
Yeah.
5'4",
so we're the same
Chance.
size.
We're in the club.
Yep.
High five.
And
It's
then-
Short Kings.
Oh, and this, guys, I love this. This was the little Polaroid of our kids there. Oh, look at those.
Aw.
My son is always like, are there only going to be girls again there? And I'm like, yes, son, but don't worry.
Holy cow! He is
Someday.
the king of
Hey,
gas.
so I got a legit question. Then I really got to go because I got work at
No,
6.
okay, absolutely.
But do you guys wish like your kids get married together and then you guys have a family?
Sister wives.
Literally never thought of it once.
This is already my family.
Well,
Yeah,
because one of our best friends, she just had a kid. It's like a miracle kid for her, right? And immediately we're like, we gotta get these 2 kids, growing up. Of
I want them
course,
to be
married.
friends. Yeah.
No, we want to connect. We want to be like the weird sister wives things. Type of such.
Shout out to Joe, winner at Mr. Badbit, the trophy room.
Angel Reese.
Thank you. Big fan of Angel Reese, big fan of God of War, big fan of making great content over at the Trophy Room, a PlayStation podcast. Thank you, Joe, for being here. Have a good night, brother. Thank you.
I love you all very much, and I love you guys.
See you, Joe. Thank you.
Have a good night,
Bye-bye.
Pony Commander.
Guys,
Thank you.
Say hello to your mothers for me.
guys, before we go, as tradition dictates, I need everyone to go get a beverage, preferably a shot of whiskey, tequila,
I got water.
pineapple vodka. We have to celebrate 200.
I'm all the way down here in
episodes.
the basement.
Oh wait,
So am
Matt,
I.
go ahead. Matt,
No,
go.
it's-
Matt, go
I'm
get a
in
drink.
I'm in the basement.
Go get something.
I got
I got water.
I'll wait, Matt. This is tradition.
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 I'm waiting, Matthew.
Nobody
Bacon,
got
go
that
get something,
reference.
please.
I don't have any alcohol in my house.
Then go get a Diet Coke. Will
I
you just
got
get?
water.
Will you entertain me?
Cheers.
Water's fine.
H2O.
Jose,
Yeah.
hold it down for me. I'm gonna go get a shot.
This is a dry house, sir.
I thought we were trying to wrap this up.
I know.
We're wrapping it up. It'll be
Damn,
just.
I do like
It's
that.
tradition.
Yeah, it is a tradition actually.
I didn't.
Every
Maple
100
leaf?
episodes is tradition.
What is that, Eric?
It's like apple
It's just
juice.
beer, but there's a maple leaf on it, so
That's fantastic, bud.
real beer. You might
Must
not know what
be
that
as,
is.
Must not be as strong as American beer.
Labatt Blue. I love a good
No.
Labatt Blue.
American beer's watered down, bro.
That's what you think. You don't deal with our microbrews up here in Colorado.
Eric, do you ever watch Letterkenny?
Yeah,
Dude,
It's great.
I've been rewatching it again. I think about you constantly about it.
What do you got
Just
there,
imagine
Todd?
that's your life.
Have you ever watched the Trailer Park Boys?
I've seen a
Dude.
couple of them. I haven't seen a ton of them, but I know
They
they're-
live like they're real close.
Oh,
That trailer park is
Todd's
like
like
not
shot.
far.
Todd's not messing around. He's got some whiskey.
Atta baby Todd.
By the way, this
got
is
an
a
entire
Mass
bottle of bourbon.
Effect.
Ooh,
This is a
alright.
Mass Effect
Again?
glass from Loot Crate.
Dude,
They made specific Mass Effect glassware.
Oh,
I own
that's
those.
nice.
with the
The
hoodie,
Vortex glasses are amazing.
with the
like-
Andromeda hoodie, right?
That's right. And I also have my. Oh, watch this.
There's more.
I don't have a cup or a glass. I just grabbed
he
the
wanted to
entire.
wrap this up, and then he's upstairs.
The
like,
Andromeda coin.
Yep, same man. I got that loot crate. I was
Yeah.
pumped about it.
So when you meet up with me, because I'm planning a Colorado trip,
Oh,
we'll all
perfect.
coin each other.
Hell
Yes.
yeah, man.
Nissa understood my traditions.
Hell yeah. When are you
Song I
coming
sang.
out, Todd?
Tradition.
Hopefully summer or fall.
Awesome, man.
I can't wait, Todd.
That'd be
Definitely
great.
let us know.
Fiddler on the
That's
Roof
awesome.
is the answer.
Yes.
Ains reached out to me recently and said he asked for our zip codes, and he's like, I think he's legit trying to move out, which would be great, man. So well, everybody's welcome to join us.
Send them
Even
some homes
Eric.
out in Evergreen.
If I
It's
ever
gonna be
go
like
to
Elon Musk.
Colorado,
Stay at your house
I'll
every
be
day.
hitting you guys up for sure. We're
Ooh,
gonna go to Casa
butterbeer.
Bonita.
Nice, Nissa. Love butterbeer.
Guys,
One of my
we-
favorites.
In celebration of episode 200, I've got a special guest joining us tonight.
I think I saw her walking.
Tennis
Major
guy?
Nelson?
Yeah.
Is it
Tennis
Major
man?
Nelson? Phil Spencer?
Tennis man?
Put this in your right ear.
Oh.
Matt
Oh, it's a
Booty?
big boy.
You got Allie to come. Allie, good
going
to see you.
Yeah, but
Going
Joe
full-blown
left.
solo.
Joe always
Ryan?
wanted to meet her.
And Rocco. Love it.
Come on over here. Take the chair. Take the seat.
All right, we're
Guys.
going straight bourbon.
You weren't here, Ellie. They had a special intro. I'll have to air it back.
And
to
Matt's
you.
gonna drink.
Can you get on the mic? Come on, get on the mic.
started.
Get on the mic. Oh, big boy. I cried the first 2 minutes of the show, honey.
Why did you cry?
You know, massive.
He can.
We all
show
made
you.
fun of him and didn't take it well.
Ellie just told me I have a giant booger in my nose. Thanks.
It's because he was crying earlier.
I was crying
Yeah,
earlier.
yeah.
You can hear them, right?
Yeah. He's still
Go ahead.
Booger's been there for 2 hours.
Having his nose.
Good thing it's low def camera.
Nobody told him.
True love. That's true love.
That is true love. Cleaning up the snot.
I'll tell you what true love is after
Allie,
the show.
Allie. Okay, so that's Eric. Eric's the one in Canada.
The one.
Call him a pony.
He's
And then there's Todd. That's Todd Oxford. Todd looks like he's got. Is that a kitty?
It is a kitty.
What's the
Yeah.
cat's name?
That's Lulu.
Oh, little Lulu.
Our cat should fight.
Todd's out in
Of course.
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Oh wow.
And his son goes to the University of Minnesota. So we're celebrating 200 episodes, boys.
Is everyone doing a shot?
Everyone's doing a shot, right?
of
Drinking
water.
Like I said, a little.
Here's
Todd has
200
shots.
episodes of the Nerd Chat, boys, and here's to 200 more.
Good job.
Cheers, guys.
Congrats.
Cheers.
Oh, that's some good water.
I'm wasted.
Isn't that delicious?
Slanja.
I wasn't ready for that.
Next time you're gonna tell us about the
Oh, sorry,
tradition
Allie.
before
Oh,
the
look
tradition
at
happens.
Matt with his
Okay.
constellation
There you go.
sticker there.
Nice.
Love
So
it.
that's Matt. Matt's the teacher in Connecticut, but he works in New York, I believe.
No,
Matt,
I live in Connecticut but work in New York.
That's what I said. Kick
A lot of driving.
Put the earbud in. Matt, tell my wife about our podcast idea.
Oh, yes. We are going to start a podcast about husbands that watch Housewives. We are Bravo husbands.
I said this
Now-
years ago.
Now,
Years ago.
Daniel, I have to, now that I have your lovely bride, you rub her feet while watching
Oh,
the show.
No,
right?
what? No.
Dan, I've been rubbing
I'll
my
take a
wife's
back
feet for
massage.
over 10 years
Oh.
while watching all
Damn.
Bravo.
Feet aren't
She tries to get me
I
to rub
deserve
her
that.
back every night.
As you should.
And she says it like this: "Do you want to give me a back rub?" Of course, I don't want to give you a back rub. Of
course you do.
What? Aw. No, the answer is you want to. She may not want it.
Thank you, dear, for joining us, guys. This
Happy 200.
thank
Oh,
you.
thank you,
Ah,
Allie.
thank you.
Has been the Nerd Chat episode 200. 200 straight
What's that?
weeks
It's a Christmas card.
That's you guys.
of
We made the wall.
the Nerd Chat.
Cute.
First edition.
You're on my wall too.
Shout out.
Oh,
Are.
look at that.
Oh, you guys.
All over the place.
Shout out to the chat. Thank you all, everybody who hung out tonight. Shout out to our special guests. And shout out to Jose, Bacon, Chance. You guys got me real good with that Morden. I was not ready for that.
Glad you
I-
enjoyed
Your
it.
homie.
I'm Morden. You guys, he was my homeboy. He was, love that guy. So shout out to you guys. Thank you so
Had to
much.
cure the genophage.
Yeah, someone else would have gotten it wrong.
No, it's someone, yeah, definitely.
My name is Daddy Diwali. I have not missed a show for 200 straight weeks.
Cray.
You can follow me at Daddy Diwali across all social media. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast on all social media. Jose, we don't miss a week.
It's true.
Correct.
Jose, give me the bam, 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 bam. We don't miss a week. Joining me, as always, Chipotle Bear. Jose, any closing words on 200 episodes and where can people find you?
Absolutely. So just a quick obvious shout out to Dan. May 10th, 2021 is when he
Is
made
that
the first
it?
Episode May 10th of 2021.
Episode 0?
I joined
Generation
in July
0.
of that year for episode 2.
No.
He was not week to week
Oh,
at that
okay,
point.
yeah.
But been there ever since, man. And it's been great. Really appreciate it. Also, I want to take a huge moment, and all of you, I'm sure, will support me in this. Thank you to Diego Dinero Primero in the chat.
Oh my gosh,
friend,
forgot.
for the amazing
very
graphic.
cool.
It's what our thumbnail is. It's in all of our Discord chats and stuff.
Shout
like
out
that.
to Diego De Niro Primero.
You surprised us yesterday with it. It looks awesome, dude. Super, super great work, man. Very, very talented artist. If you're in need of work, reach out to him. If you're in Cali, look him up. The next time we're ever out there, I definitely will do that as well. But thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you, of course, to our awesome guests, guys. We appreciate you spending 2 hours with us. We've gone a little long for tonight, but it's been worth every minute. And we appreciate you guys, man. Like it's just funny looking back. Like as an adult male, I don't feel like the opportunities to make new friends is like that often.
That's a great point.
But this has been like a really welcome piece of that. Like it just feels cool that we're like building friends in lots of places. And of course, other ones that couldn't be with us tonight as well. Luke and Logan and Ains and Joe and Kyle and Light and everybody. Just a great community. Thank you to everybody. Thank you for 200 and to 200 more. We're looking forward to it.
Yeah. Jose, I'm glad you said that. I should have said that earlier. Todd and Eric, they're like my best friends now. I was going to say, I always laughed at like the kind of funny when they're like, oh, we're all
left Matt out.
best friends here.
You did leave Matt out.
Hold on. I was getting to Matt. Matt
Matt's
was
like
one
the
of the
dad you never wanted or
Listen,
needed.
Matt, you didn't let me get to it. Matt was one of the first people to come onto the show.
Joe was actually the first, in case you didn't know that. He's
Well,
the
no,
very
but
first.
Matt was like really a first like no offense, random fan.
Yeah,
who got
yeah.
in and interacted
Random.
with us. So absolutely,
So
Matt
random, bro.
was a huge part of that as well. But I'm just saying, in general, talking to you guys, gaming with you guys, it's been a blast, and I'm incredibly thankful to the community, to the chat, to the Bees, to the Nissas, to the Diegos, to Gentlestone, everybody.
Deja vu.
Deja vu. Well, I mean, I know Deja vu, and I played basketball with him and met him in real life. So.
Big box?
Big Box. Jose,
I'm a man. I'm 40.
where is Big Box 1431?
Right too. Pick him up.
Where are you, Big Box? You should have been here. You should have been on the show. X Bacon Gaming. Any closing thoughts? Where can people find you?
Yeah, I don't remember what episode I joined. I just remember when I came on full time, our subscriber count was at 59. It's been a long journey here, but every week my wife allows me to do this because I talk to other humans my age in a setting other than work, and by my age I mean really old. So
midlife.
I like to shout out. I like everybody in this panel, but Eric because he's a pony. But I let it go. Just kidding, my Canadian brother. You're my Canadian brother. I love Canadians right now. They're awesome. So shout out to the chat. You guys have been awesome. Here's to another 200. Let's keep this train rolling. Thank you.
And Bubble Boy and Seven, a first original tripod member. Then he left on his darkness retreat, and then he came back as intern again. Where can people find you?
Hopefully test driving a new Ford Mach-E
That's my guy.
tomorrow.
That's my guy. Go electric.
Yeah.
Shanias owns one.
Do it.
Yeah. See,
Yes,
I gotta
ask him
I
any
gotta
questions.
ask him then. Okay, I will. I appreciate that. Because we'll see. We'll see. There's still a lot
You're gonna love
a
it.
lot of dominoes to fall. But in Bacon, I might need the guy's number to install the thing.
I'm not sure he was licensed, but he did it for 500.
The electric charger. Got it.
Can't same as everybody else. So happy, so thankful for being here. Love you all. Steaks for 300 from B. So
Shout out. Oh God, I don't want to think about how old we're going to be by that time. Joining us again, special number one guest who almost was a regular, but then he went and did his own Fallout streams. MKen10. Where can people find you?
MKen10 across all the.
He got it.
socials
He
and
secured the name, unlike Eric.
What is it, Eric? I never know.
He's got too many different names.
I have one name. People stole it because it's so cool, so I had to like make different variations.
Underscores and things.
Because you know what, I had an Xbox account for like 13 years before I even turned on a PlayStation. And in
Eric,
that time,
guys, Eric is not a Sony pony fanboy. He just loves his new Sony PS5 Pro hardware and his new
Portal
PlayStation Portal
And
hardware and his new PlayStation
he also got the
earbuds
Edge.
and his new
I don't have the
PlayStation
You got the Edge
DualSense
controller.
Edge
I don't have
and
that.
his new collector's edition of Monster Hunters for PS5
the
and
Edge.
his new PlayStation hard copy
Goodness.
of future Xbox games.
And the
Indiana
banner behind him that
Jones,
says, "I'm a
Avowed,
pony."
Doom.
Phil Spencer, if you're listening, if you make an Xbox Series X Pro and an Xbox Portal, I will buy them on day one and I will sell these.
Did you hear that,
That's
Phil?
the only reason.
Only
I have-
if Phil there's a optical drive or
yeah.
cartridges.
True.
Otherwise, he
That-
will
yeah.
not be buying it day
Forever
one. He will
physical.
And
continue
he'll hear
to
this.
be
He's a big fan.
Big fan.
what's his name? Who's the new CEO? Gosh, for Sony, he's got the good name.
Hiroki
Hiroki
Totoki.
Hiroki Totoki.
He will continue to be Hiroki Totoki simp. Eric, fanboy of all things. Thank you for being here. Where can people find you?
You can find me on YouTube, Game Positive YT. Just want to say thanks for inviting me here. You guys are actually really awesome. I regret that I didn't find you guys sooner because it's one of my favorite podcasts. Truly, you
Thank you,
guys, your friendship just kind of turns into this awesome cadence and delivery. Your personalities just mesh so well. Podcast criminally undersubscribed, and genuinely speaking, I actually think it's one of my favorite podcasts. It's definitely top 3.
Well, thank you, Eric.
Right
Thank
behind
you.
your friends.
And
for
I will
liking
say,
it.
I
it's
still think you're a
probably
Sony
the
pony.
only- The only one I actually listen to every single week.
Oh, thanks, man. We try to keep it simple. We'll talk more about that. I did want to talk about like the structure of the show and possibly rebranding again, but we can save that for later. And joining us as another special guest, go listen to him, check him out. He's over at Secret Friends Unite. They make great content over there. One of my favorite podcasts to listen to. Todd, senior intern, Oxtra. Where can people find you?
Secret Friends Unite is all things geek media, Star Wars, Star Trek, video games. Join us for all things comic books. I think we've had everybody on this panel.
You had
on
Matt
our
on?
shows, except for MK. No, Matt has not been on. Matt,
What?
you need to
We
come
gotta
on.
run
Speaking
it
of
here.
Matt,
Star
hold on.
Trek,
I got to
Star
interrupt you,
Wars,
Todd. I
video
got to
games.
interrupt you, Todd. I got to interrupt
Oh.
you because Nessa said we cut off Matt way too much. So you better get Matt onto the show. Don't cut him off. Just a heads up there,
Nissa,
Todd.
I love you, Nissa. Thank you so much.
So
Todd-
Matt, open
Todd,
invitation. Come on, talk
Yeah,
about video
Todd.
games, geek
great
media,
show.
Star Trek, Star
Shout out to
Wars.
Mark.
We do all those
Shout
things,
out to-
comic books.
Sounds
Shout
good.
out.
I'm
Yes.
here. I'm here for it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Guys.
So future invitation, if anybody wants to talk about anything geek media, we want to have more people on Secret Friends Unite.
Also, future invitation, chat people. You need to come on the show. Nessa, Diego, Pomps, B, Gentle Stone.
Matt
Who am I
Valdez.
forgetting?
Matt Valdez.
Matt Valdez.
Big box.
Big Box 1431. Nissa again. You're Captain Logan. Well, Captain Logan's been on the show. You guys are all welcome on the show. B, you're all welcome to the show. B, for your information, will we ever see Wally get NBA points before we see GTA 6?
Saying
He's
we will.
saying,
Not
he is
will
saying
we?
it.
We will.
We will see.
No, unfortunately, shot's been off ever since the pinky injury. It's just, it's not
It'll
good.
come back, Dan. Don't worry.
Could probably make
Yes.
the Raptors.
Guys, well, great
You ever see
show.
Colorado women's basketball team competition? No.
We don't have one. But speaking of, all seriousness, I'm gonna say I think Caitlin Clark's kind of hot too. I'm just gonna say it.
She is.
I think her game turns me on. Seeing her. As
no Rebecca Lobo, but,
always, gentlemen. See you online.
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 Morden.
He died.
Their fate hangs on the thumb of our final judge. Thumbs up, average Joes can play. This dude poppycock. You can let them do that? Thank you, Chuck Norris. Thank you, Peter.
The Nerd Chat is an Xbox podcast celebrating all things gaming, food, and the good old days. You can follow the show at the Nerd Chat Podcast across all social media. The show was created by Daniel Walenzik, and you can follow him at Daddy D. Wally. Co-host and producer Jose Martinez III can be found at Chipotle_bear. Former intern, now co-host Jason Jarrett can be found at XBaconGaming. And former co-host, now returning intern, Chance Siegel can be found at BubbleBoyN7. If you'd like to find out more about the show, please visit nerdchatmedia.com. And as always, see you online.